When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
High school football's second season, the postseason playoffs beginning throughout the region here at Crespin Field, home to Berwick football since 1929. It's a District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. Number 1 seed Berwick against number 8 seed Wyoming area. Here's the starting lineup for the Warriors of Wyoming area in the offense. The tight end, number 15, Shane Eslick. He is 6'1", 180 pounds, a senior. He's caught 11 passes on the season for 159 yards and 5 touchdowns. We'll also see a sophomore at 6'2", 185 pounds, Derek Ambrosino. The left tackle is number 73, Damon Barheit, 6 foot, 245 pounds, a senior. Cameron Carr starts at the left guard position. He wears number 75. Cameron is 6'4", 200 pounds, a junior. Stephen Sokach-Minnick is the starting center. He also does the long snapping for this team. He's a 6 foot, 200 pound junior. Matt Wykowski starts at right guard. He is 6'3", 275, a junior. They have a lot of size on that right side. Wykowski at 275, and the right tackle, number 56, Noah Johnson, 285 pounds at 6'2". He is a senior. The big player on this team is number 10, Mark Anthony Minichello. He's a 5'10", 180-pound senior. He'll be at wide receiver where he's terrific. 43 receptions, third in the Wyoming Valley Conference for 461 yards and 5 touchdowns. But they'll also use him in jet sweeps in the wing position, just about everywhere to carry the football. He's carried 36 times, and he's averaging 6.8 yards a carry. He's also completed 3 passes in 3 attempts for 30 yards and a touchdown. So he is one very valuable member of the offensive unit for the Warriors. We'll also see a talented sophomore to wide out. He wears number 6. He's Brian Williams, 6'1", 180 pounds. 21 catches on the season for 317 yards and 2 touchdowns. The quarterback is number 9, Dominic DeLuca. He was not expected to be the starting quarterback this year. Thrust into that role when veteran P.J. Angeli suffered a season-ending injury early in the first game. But DeLuca, 6'1", 170-pound sophomore, has really come along. He's completing 57% of his passes. He's 4th in the Wyoming Valley Conference in yards, 1,257 yards. And as I mentioned earlier, a terrific touchdown-interception ratio. 18 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. His brother Dante was a very talented tight end for this team a year ago. They'll use a number of running backs, including Darren Rodney, a sophomore, played a lot as a freshman a year ago. 6 foot, 175-pounder. 62 carries on the season, 246 yards and a touchdown, averaging just under 4 yards a carry. We'll also see number 22, Donovan O'Boyle. He is a sophomore, 5'8", 175 pounds, 64 carries on the season for 264 yards and 6 touchdowns. Correction, O'Boyle is a senior. They'll use a number of fullbacks, including number 23, Corey Maruck. He is 5'8", 180 pounds. He is a sophomore, 16 carries on the season for 88 yards and a touchdown. We'll also see Justin Joseph, number 47, 5'8", 190-pound senior, 41 carries on the season, averaging over 5 yards a carry, and has scored 3 touchdowns. At another wide receiver position, we'll see Robert Trattini, number 17. He's a 6 foot, 170-pound senior, has 14 catches on the season for 297 yards and a touchdown. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Warriors of Wyoming area. 25 points a game. They are 9th out of the 17 teams in the Wyoming Valley Conference in scoring. For the Bulldogs of Berwick, at the tight end, number 11, Joe Norris, 6'3", 185, a senior, 7 receptions on the season for 119 yards and a touchdown. The left tackle, number 72, Ben Peck. He is 6'3", 251 pounds, a junior. The left guard is number 73, Tom Monaco, 6'3", 284 pounds, a senior. Noah Craig is the starting center. The sophomore at 6 foot, 246 pounds, wears number 79. Fellow sophomore Mike Zalutka starts at right guard. He wears number 71. He is 6'1", 264 pounds. And the right tackle, number 70, big Chase Struther, 6'3", 294 pounds, a senior. The leading receiver for this team is Damon Beckhorn. He wears number 3. He's a 6', 181-pound senior, 33 catches on the season. That puts him 8th in the Wyoming Valley Conference, 486 yards and 6 touchdowns. We'll also see him running the football either out of jet sweeps or sometimes out of the Wildcat. In fact, back-to-back carries by him of 44 and 8 yards late in the fourth quarter of the first meeting between these two teams proved the difference. The 44-yard gain, his longest run of the season, followed by the 8-yard touchdown run to give Berwick the win. On the season, he has carried 22 times for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. The second leading receiver is Jared Watts. He wears number 13. He's a 5'10", 167-pound senior, 24 receptions on the season for 344 yards and 2 touchdowns. The quarterback, number 9, Jared Marshman, suffered that unfortunate injury during the summer, kept him out the majority of this season. This will be his 5th game back, and he has shown no signs of rust. He's completing over 60% of his passes for 667 yards, 10 touchdowns, and no interceptions. The only thing we haven't seen from Jared Marshman that we saw a year ago was him running the football, and of course that's in deference to that injury, but we may see it in the postseason as this season progresses, but he's been terrific in his comeback so far. Leading rusher on this team is number 8, Evan Klinger. He is a 5'10", 175-pound senior. He is 11th in the Wyoming Valley Conference with 699 yards and 7 touchdowns, averaging 6.2 yards a carry. Berwick has a great 1-2 punch in that tailback position. Owen Shoemaker, a junior, is the other one. He's 5'9", 191 pounds, 88 carries on the season for 573 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's averaging 6.5 yards a carry. When Berwick does employ a fullback, we'll see Joey Lynn, number 44. He is a 5'11", 216-pound junior, 16 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown. He's also caught 2 passes for 25 yards. That is the starting lineup offensively for the Bulldogs under Frank Sheptock in his 2nd season as head coach. They come in 8-2. They are 4th in the Wyoming Valley Conference in scoring at 29.8 points a game. The Bulldogs against the Warriors. Keys to tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
Well, the key for Berwick defensively, Jim, they're going to have to play good defense. It's hard to say what area to key. This is a well-rounded team. It's a very good system under Randy Spencer. It's a team that's well-disciplined and executes very, very well. They have great technique. They play with an attitude. They give the best of effort. And when you do all of that, you play good football. Now, if I'm keying them, I think I look, who do you stop on the ground? Well, they have 5 different runners over 200 yards. So you say, well, no one's truly standing out, but they have 1,000 yards in rushing, with a number of different people. One of those 200-yard rushers, though, is the quarterback, Dom DeLuca, 74 carries, 274 yards. And that's always scary when a quarterback can put up good, positive rushing numbers. So I would key DeLuca, keep him in the backfield, make sure that he's not going to run, because that's where he can break the big plays. He does pass very well. They're expecting P.J. Angeli to quarterback this team. We see him out there in civvies. He's still limping very, very noticeably. And Dom DeLuca forced into action early. But he's grown into the part. He's throwing at 57%. He's number 4 in the Wyoming Valley Conference in passing with 1,257 yards. Touchdown to interception ratio, 18 touchdowns, just 4 interceptions. So he's more than grown into the part. He's become an outstanding quarterback and has gotten better every game as the season progressed to the point where he lit up against a pretty good Williamsport a couple weeks ago. If I'm looking at who's the key receiver, well, that's easy. Mark Anthony Minichello, third in the conference with 46 catches, seventh in the conference with 461 yards, 5 touchdown receptions. He's a dominant receiver, but he also runs the ball, and he runs it very, very well. I have him with 36 carries for 246 yards. They want to get him the touches. They'll run him on jet sweeps. They'll put him in a wing and try some inside counters. They'll work reverses with him. He's the type of guy they'll throw to, but they also want to get him some runs. So I think you have to play the whole team. But if I'm keying a little bit, I key through that quarterback, Dom DeLuca, who's been getting better every game, and also keep my eye on the very dangerous Mark Anthony Minichello. And when Berwick has the ball on offense, you kind of go back to that early season game and say, hey, this team pretty much shut Berwick down. But there were a lot of factors. There were a lot of young players. Berwick was developing, and they're all more experienced now. And some have developed into standout players. Guys that we look at in the receiving core, like Tegan Wilkes has stepped in there. Jared Watts has become an outstanding player. Owen Shoemaker has become outstanding. These guys weren't names we're necessarily expecting to see in that star level, and then they've joined in. Also in that game, they didn't have the senior quarterback. They didn't have quarterback Jared Marshman, and he adds a tremendous element to this team with his ability to pinpoint pass, and from what we understand, they're going to open up the running lanes a little bit for him. So it's a stronger Berwick offense, but it's Berwick offense also to play the full moon game back in September. They had 2 turnovers. They had 12 penalties for 95 yards. And they're going to have to certainly eliminate that, and it's hard to be any worse than that. And I'm sure they emphasized it this week. Play the clean game, and, you should come out on top with the better talent. They're going to watch for gadget plays. Wyoming area is rather creative with reverses and flea flickers and option passes. They'll have schooled them in that as well. But if Berwick plays its game and everything comes together, Berwick should be moving on in these playoffs. If not, Wyoming area has the type of system and the talent that can pull what some would view as a major upset. I'd view it as a minor upset.
Yeah, it's the second season, so in some respects you forget the regular season, but it was just a week ago where Berwick's secondary, which we both think is outstanding, was riddled for a lot of yardage by Williamsport and did not tackle particularly well in the open field. Now you say, well, Wyoming area doesn't have the weapons of Williamsport. Well, it's a Wyoming area team that beat Williamsport and put 58 points on the board, and DeLuca in that game threw 4 touchdown passes. That was just 2 weeks ago, so that's got to be a concern.
He is a growing talent. He has that star quality that he's developed. Each game since the Berwick game, he's gotten progressively better, to where you're looking at a guy who is supposed to be a backup, and here he is, the 4th leading quarterback in passing yardage in the conference, and that's without playing all the games. So yes, add that, his running skills, his knowledge of the game has improved with the experience, and Wyoming area plays a comfortable game against Berwick. Some teams come in a little intimidated against Berwick because of the name. You come in a little intimidated because it's Crispin Field. You might feel a little edge because it's playoff. But the Wyoming area enjoys the game. They play football, and they don't let those intangibles that often hurt other teams affect them.
Captains meeting at the center of the field. Bulldogs just made their appearance on this. The near side of the field wearing the blue jerseys, white helmets, white pants, white numerals and trim across the way. The Wyoming area Warriors in their white jerseys, gold helmets, green numerals, green pants and trim. The officiating crew for tonight's game, a crew out of Scranton. The referee is Dave Brudzinski. Bill Legg is the umpire. Robert Gentileza is the linesman. Line judge is James Elliott. Tony Glazier is the field judge. Jerry Murray, the side judge. And Jared Cania is the back judge.
They work these playoff games in the districts a little bit differently, try to get out of the district referees. It'll be a full complement of 7 officials. It'll be a paid chain gang for impartiality. So, you get sometimes there's a tendency to over-officiate. You hope that you're getting the best of the best, and they let the boys play ball.
A District 2 Quad A quarterfinal here at Crispin Field, Berwick against Wyoming area. We'll be back with the kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
Congratulations to the Berwick Bulldogs from Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. And listen to this. Murad is back at the Ford store. You've dealt with him in the past, and now he's back with great deals on the complete line of Ford cars and trucks, like the Focus, Edge, or Escape, to the Expedition. And don't forget the F-150 trucks at Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. Go Bulldogs!
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
The compassionate funeral directors at the James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services provides individualized funeral services designed to meet the needs of your family. The staff of devoted professionals will assist you in making funeral service arrangements and guide you through this difficult time in your life. The James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Market Street, Berwick, wishing Bulldog players and families the best of luck during this season.
If you're planning a job or project that requires excavation, you need the experts at MDL Snow and Land, Inc. MDL Snow and Land does driveways, basements, septic systems, town hookups, and more. They will also haul sand, stone, crushed brick, and more in a variety of load sizes. And with winter just around the corner, MDL Snow and Land, Inc. provides prompt and efficient commercial snow removal from your business. For your next excavating, hauling, or commercial snow removal job, call the experts at MDL Snow and Land, 336-0289.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels in Berwick is a dream getaway for your dog when you are away. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels offers on-site grooming, 19 air-conditioned kennels, and a fenced-in area for your dog to play. At Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, there are no restrictions on size or weight of your dog. The only thing they ask is that all dogs have proof of updated vaccines, including kennel cough. Call 570-759-8181 to schedule your dog's dream vacation today. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton, 103.5.
Just about set to go here from Crispin Field. A good night for high school football as the Bulldogs make the first step toward what they hope will be their first District 2 championship since 2013. They take on the Warriors of Wyoming area here in the quarterfinals. Again, that other game that we'll be looking for tonight and keeping you posted on, Pittston area at North Pocono. The winner of this game will get the winner of that game. If it's the Bulldogs, it'll be here at Crispin Field. Now, Berwick won the toss tonight and deferred to the second half. Normally, they take the football. They're going to put it on their defense to start, as Brian Williams, among three people deep for Wyoming area. Mark Anthony Minichello is the second, and the third one is closest to us.
22, Jim, number 22.
Donovan O'Boyle as
running back.
Ken Marshman, who has 19 touchbacks on the season. Kicks a line drive 5 yards deep in the end zone. He's got number 21. And Wyoming area will take over at their own 20-yard line, going against a Berwick defense that lines up in the front four of Joe Norse, Tom Monaco, J.J. Snyder, and Jimmy LeGrand. The linebackers, Noah Craig and Joey Lynn. The secondary, David Beckhorn, Alex Sparks, Evan Klinger, Tegan Wilk, and Ryan Lawbaugh.
Notice Eric Montez at left defensive end, Jim, in the four-man front, so a little bit of a change-up.
So that would be replacing Jimmy LeGrand. Jimmy's had a good season, too. 1st and 10 for the Warriors from the 20-yard line. DeLuca out of the gun, has a man in motion. It's Minichello. Minichello then hands the ball to O'Boyle, and O'Boyle is brought down right about the line of scrimmage. So some trickery right off the start by Wyoming area, but Berwick is all over it.
Trying to get the number, Jim. Eric Montez stayed home at left defensive end, and he didn't make the play. So, aware of the reverses, holds his position, makes just a 1-yard gain on that.
So Montez getting a surprise start at defensive end. He's played there. He hasn't started there. 2nd down and 9. Wyoming area at their 21-yard line. Warriors moving from our right to our left as we view things here in the opening half. DeLuca out of the gun. Play action. Rolls right. Fires long downfield. Incomplete. On the far side, intended for Brian Williams. Good coverage in the Berwick secondary.
Josh Snyder came in hard, put a lick on the quarterback just at the moment where he released it, but also strong coverage downfield, as you mentioned, Jim. Set up the 3rd and long.
And you mentioned J.J. Snyder. He's been very, very good in that interior for Berwick. Now a 3rd down and 9 for Wyoming area from their 21-yard line.
Keep an eye on number 10, Mark Minichello.
He's in the slot to the left. Brian Williams outside of him. DeLuca now under center on 3rd and 9 with an I formation behind him, and the options left. And he pitches the ball, and the pitch is loose, but O'Boyle gets on it back at the 18-yard line.
Trickery. This team has been creative through the season. Not only is it option from under the center, but a left-handed pitch. Came out a little low, down around O'Boyle's knees. A bad pitch causes the fumble, and he just manages to get on top of it.
So punting situation. Dominic DeLuca does the punting for this team. Steven Sokach-Minnick does the long snapping, and 2 dangerous return men for Berwick in Evan Klinger and Tegan Wilk. DeLuca back at his own 5-yard line, and flags and whistles.
Thrown by the linesman here on the near side. So somebody over the ball or some kind of quick movement being seen. 5 against Berwick. Won't change the situation much. Still a punting situation. Make it a 4th and about 8.
Remember, it was Tegan Wilk whose 75-yard punt return touchdown at Wyoming area jump-started the Bulldogs to that come-from-behind win back on September 8th. He and Klinger await the punt by DeLuca. Not a particularly long punt, and it goes out of bounds. No, it doesn't. And Klinger fields at the Berwick 45-yard line, to the 45, the 40, to the 35 of Wyoming area, and inside the 30-yard line. Evan Klinger with a terrific return, and Berwick in business for their first possession of this game.
They'll gain just 8 net yards on the punt, Jim. It's a wonderful return. It was bouncing, but Evan Klinger saw it come up high at the eyes, knew that he'd be able to field it cleanly. Gave a little ground to his left, and then broke up and slashed inside a little bit. Found just enough blocking to be able to break it down to the original line to gain.
26 yards on the punt return by Evan Klinger. 1st and 10 Berwick at the Wyoming area 29-yard line. First snap coming for the Bulldogs. Marshman out of the gun. He's going to keep the ball up the middle inside the 25, inside the 22 to about the 21-yard line. So a run for Jared Marshman on the first play from scrimmage for Berwick, and he picks up 8, and it's 2nd down and 2.
We were told we'd see more of this. Remember, it was the Wildcat look. Running quarterback out of shotgun that burned this team and gave up the winning touchdown. Here Marshman does it himself. He's under center this time.
2nd down and 2. The give is to Klinger off the right side, hit behind the line of scrimmage, but breaks free and gets the first down at the 25-yard line. Wyoming area defensively, Cameron Carr and Shane Eslick at the ends, Justin Joseph and Damon Barhide at the tackles. Jesse Zagolka, the nose guard, is out with an injury. Anthony Scalzo, among other people, will be filling in for him. The linebackers, Charles Banaszewski and Corey Maruck, as Berwick has a first down at the 15-yard line. There's a 6-yard gain, a quick out to the far side of Beckhorn. He's hit and dropped for a loss at the 20-yard line. Well, that's a terrific defensive play by Dimitri DiPietro, one of the safeties for this team. He's joined by Dominic DeLuca at the safeties. Darren Rodney and Robert Trattini are the corners.
Really well played on the sideways pass. Looking at the nose guard, Jim, they're going with the big nose guard. Damon Barheit plays in the offensive line, listed at 6', 245. Looks a little bigger than that.
So we're going to have to identify another tackle, as Barheit was scheduled to be the starting tackle. As the give on the play is to Beckhorn. Started out right, shifts and goes to the left, and gets what he can. It's not much, to about the 16, maybe the 17-yard line.
Yeah, make up the loss on the pass just about, with a yard short of that. So Wyoming area stiffening up defensively.
Third down and 11 for Berwick. And make it at the 16, so it's a 4-yard gain. Third and 11. Slot to the right side. Marshman out of the gun with Klinger to his right. Marshman has the snap. He's back to throw. He fires incomplete, a diving attempt to the goal line for an interception. Are they saying he got it? Yes. Intercepted on that far side. Going to the sideline at the 20-yard line. It looks like DeLuca.
Yeah,
Dominic DeLuca came up with the interception.
It was Derek Montez who was playing at tight end. He did it down and then out at about 8 yards. Should have been caught, should have been in his hands, but he went to squeeze it, it popped on through. DeLuca plays a free safety in this team. He's back there at in the end zone. I didn't follow the play. I was trying to get...
Wow, it looked like the interception was at the 1-yard line. Instead, they're saying it was in the end zone, so it'll come out to the 20-yard line. So that is a huge turnover in the game. And it's the first interception thrown by Marshman this season.
Yeah, hard to blame him for that. Should have been a catch.
Wyoming area from the 20-yard line. Give off the right side. O'Boyle will pick up just a couple to the 22-yard line. Donovan O'Boyle, 2nd and 8.
Kevin Klinger penetrating from the side, able to get a piece of him, spin him off balance, and limit him to just 1 yard.
So Berwick had a number of turnovers in the first meeting between these two teams. Wyoming area didn't turn it over even once. Bulldogs turned it over here in the first quarter, which has 7:49 to go and no score. Now a back to either side of DeLuca, takes the shotgun snap. He's going to keep it himself off the right side. He has some running room, and he stood up by Evan Klinger. He gets over the 25, out to about the 27-yard line.
Quarterback runs. There's going to be more blockers. True student body. Looking from the shotgun, turned off the right side. Had a back or two leading the way toward the tight end. And they'll stretch that nicely. Be about 4 yards to go for the James. So give them a good 5 or 6.
Third down call coming. 3rd and 3. Wyoming area from their own 27-yard line. Trattini is wide to the left. Slot to the right. Minichello in the slot. DeLuca out of the gun. Sends Minichello in motion. A fake to him. Rolling right is DeLuca. Fires a pass to the far side. Has the completion to the 40-yard line. Are they saying it's complete? It's about a first down. If they say no, incompletion.
Caught by Brian Williams. The question is, could he maintain inbound position? Showed great hands, but as I'm watching it on the far side with the binoculars, I would not have ruled it a catch. You got to look down to the line judge and up to the side judge, and they have to come to an agreement on it, and they ruled it as an incomplete. Nice throw, though.
It was. Right on target from Dominic DeLuca. Now 4th and 3 for Wyoming area. And boy, a lot of stuff going on here with players coming in and out. Didn't see any mass substitutions, but it looks like they will punt it.
You have to watch for a hard count. 5 yards will give them this timeout for Wyoming area.
Warriors call it with 6:56 to go in a scoreless first quarter. You're listening to Berwick Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Wyoming area following their timeout will punt it away as DeLuca's kick goes to the far side. Beckhorn at the Berwick 39-yard line backtracks to the 30, trying to turn the corner. Great coverage by Wyoming area, and Beckhorn will get just to the 33-yard line. So a nice punt by DeLuca and terrific coverage downfield by the Warriors.
Robert Trattini was able to stay with him as he traversed the field from one sideline toward the other, one hash to the other. Beckhorn normally has the speed to be able to give it up a little bit of ground, and as he's trying to half-moon it around and get the corner, Trattini just matched his speed and would not allow that to happen.
First and 10, Berwick at their own 33-yard line. Second possession for the Bulldogs. First one started at the Wyoming area 29-yard line, but the interception by DeLuca ended the threat. Now the Bulldogs back to work as Tegan Wilk is wide to the left. Damon Beckhorn wide to the right. Marshman out of the gun. High snap, but he gets the ball off. A flag flies as Evan Klinger straight ahead gets maybe a half yard on the play.
Charles Banaszewski plays some linebacker, and we told you'll see him some at nose guard. Got nice penetration. Able to sift through the A-gap. So no gain on the play. A violent hit on Evan Klinger. A backbreaker type.
An illegal procedure against the Bulldogs. Their second penalty this opening quarter. Remember, as Danny mentioned earlier, they had 12 in the first meeting between these teams, and it was a big factor.
12 for 95 yards. Frank Sheptock wanted it explained. What happened? Asked the crew to, who did it? What was going on? Who was over the ball? He wants to keep an eye on things because, as you mentioned, as we both mentioned, it got out of hand last time with penalties.
Now a whistle and a stoppage.
Umpire's not quite happy, maybe with the placement of the ball.
Or with the clock.
Or with the clock.
And we're going to have another conference. And another. 6:30 is what's showing on the scoreboard. Referee strolls back toward the scrimmage line. Trying to add some drama to this whole thing. It's a little difficult.
There's drama in it. This offense against this defense is wonderful drama. You got explosive personnel. You
I'm
got
talking
good
about
linemen.
this
I know. So I wouldn't get to it. I'm looking at Wyoming area, Jim, and they have some big people in there, but they mix in some tinier people in their defense.
First and 15. Marshman back to throw. The pass tipped at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Looked like Cameron Carr got a hand on it.
You saw it. Playing a down defensive end on the left side. Got into his explosion. Saw it was going to be a quick toss, a quick out here to the near side. Got the left hand up and knocked it down nicely.
Second and 15, Berwick at their own 28-yard line. Marshman out of the gun. Three receivers to the left. Marshman's going to keep it himself up the middle, and Jared Marshman will get out to about the 34-yard line. So Berwick not reluctant to let Marshman run in this one for the first time this season. Picked up 6 there. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
More makeable 3rd down situation. Still a little surprised by the quarterback run with that down and distance.
Slot to the left. Marshman has the snap. Fires and right into the hands of Damon Beckhorn, who drops it at the 41-yard line.
He has not been helped by his receivers. Montez lets one go through his hand and suffers the interception. Here on the slant from left to right, he lets Beckhorn get about 7 or 8 yards downfield. A little low, but higher than the knees to where it should be caught. I think he was trying to get the next 2 yards before he secured the football.
Alex Sharkuski back to do the punting. Jake Lanning, a 9th grader, will do the long snapping for Berwick. Long snapping has been an issue for the Bulldogs all season long. They've gone through 5 long snappers, and this one skitters along the turf, but it's picked up nicely by Sharkuski. His line drive kick is muffed by Minichello, picked up by Williams, and was there a fair catch call because the play is blown dead?
I don't understand if that blows it dead. He muffed it. I didn't see the fair catch. One fellow muffed it. His partner picked it up on the bounce and started returning it. I'm not that clear on all the rules, Jim, but it just doesn't seem something that should have been blown dead.
So Wyoming area will have it at their own 32-yard line with 5:54 to go in a scoreless first quarter. Berwick used a couple of ninth graders in that game against Williamsport, and one of them, Mason Lawbaugh, is in there right now.
Yeah.
As Wyoming area puts it in play from their 32. Running back to either side of Dominic DeLuca, who has the snap. He's going to keep it himself off the right side, has some running room, and cuts it outside to the 40, the 45, flag down in the play as he goes out of bounds over midfield in Berwick territory. But some of this may come back.
He had 10, 12 yards into the run before they threw the flag, and boy, they ran the student body right as nicely as you can. That man came in motion and then led the blocking along with the other split back off the right side. Berwick's linebackers are trying to slide over and get, but they just can't get in. There's too many people in the way between their own people who are being blocked and these other blockers getting on down. Then give the quarterback, DeLuca, a lot of credit. He's able to, wind himself away to the outside and made a real nice run. That's been a successful play. They'll be coming back to that.
The penalty brings it back to the 30-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and 12 for Wyoming area. As they send Brian Williams, the sophomore, wide to the left. And DeLuca will operate under center. He's got split backs behind him. Pump fake, back to throw, big pass rush. Joe Norse sacks him back at the 20-yard line. Norse coming from his defensive end position, levels DeLuca for a loss of 11 back to the 19-yard line.
Mason Lawbaugh also on the blitz, jumping on top of that pile. They wanted a fake screen left, throw screen right, and I think the screen right was covered. Berwick had somebody smell it out, and the quarterback, DeLuca, just said, hey, I can't throw this. At that point, he's going to try to look downfield, but then, all of a sudden, there you go with that pressure straight up the middle.
2nd down and 23. Wyoming area back at their 19-yard line. DeLuca out of the gun, has the snap, rolls to his left, stops, plants the feet, it's nothing there. He rolls to his right, he keeps the football, and he is going to be buried right about the line of scrimmage.
Mason Lawbaugh on top of him, but 5 other people deserving in the credit as well. He wanted to pass to the left side. He had one man doing an out at about 10 yards and one man at the line of scrimmage. But Damon Beckhorn very effectively in zone was able to play both, that he couldn't throw it. So then he's forced to scramble the opposite side and just can't make anything happen.
Not a lot of good plays in the playbook. 3rd and 23. There was no gain on that play. And DeLuca under center. Banana bunch of 3 receivers to the left. DeLuca rolls that way. Again, a pass rush. He gets away. He turns the corner at the 20. The 25 is hit hard as he gets out to about the 31. There are flags on the play.
Tom Monaco turning around with sort of a hey what. He was hit, refused to go out of bounds, then got hit again. It's not a question of hitting somebody out of bounds late. I didn't hear the whistle, so it shouldn't be on the hit on DeLuca. I mean, he took a hard hit, but that's football.
I think Dominic DeLuca in the future be well advised to use that sideline.
I would there.
He's playing both ways. He wasn't going to get the first down with the second effort.
But he's one of those mindsets where, hey, I'm not quitting. I'm 12 yards short, and I'm not going to go down or go out of bounds unless I can get it.
Personal foul against Wyoming area. So a 12-yard run by DeLuca, but it's still 4th and long. Berwick declines the penalty, and the punt team will be on for the Warriors.
I want to go back to that last punt, Jim. The more I've had time to digest it, if one of the 2 people back does call the fair catch and he flubs it, and when you think of the spirit of the game, the other man should not be able to return it. So it was blown dead. Credit the officials for knowing the rules a little bit better than I do.
That's a stretch.
Yeah.
DeLuca back at the 20, gets the punt away, and a nice punt. And Evan Klinger back at the 35-yard line of Berwick, to the 40, to the 45, and out to the 49. Boy, he is so good in the open field. Another good return by Evan Klinger. Good field position for the Bulldogs. 3:47 to go in a scoreless first quarter.
Brasini eventually brings him down, but he makes the first two miss. Catches it, sidesteps one, eludes the next at 5 yards. And that's big yardage. You know, you're approaching midfield, just a yard short. Berwick could get its offense going from here. They're on the right hash mark.
The Bulldogs trying to get that offense moving. They had a great opportunity on their first possession, taking over at the 29 of the Warriors.
Penalties, couple of drops, haven't hurt them.
Slot to the left, wide receiver right. Marshman under center now as Beckhorn comes in motion left to right. And Marshman back to throw, fires a quick out to Tegan Wilk, and Wilk inside the 40-yard line into the 35-yard line of Wyoming area. Quick hitter to Tegan Wilk, who does the rest. And a first down for the Bulldogs in Wyoming area territory.
The old rocket screen, he's already lined up there. They bring Tegan Wilk, and there's a man already in the slot. Those guys set up the blocking. They wall off the corner, and Tegan Wilk takes it inside of them for 16 yards.
First and 10 at the Wyoming area 35-yard line. Beckhorn goes in motion. The call straight ahead to Klinger. Klinger's inside the 35. Klinger's down to the 26-yard line. Good blocking straight ahead. And Evan Klinger running hard. He'll get a breather now. No breather for the opposition, though, as Owen Shoemaker comes in to take his place after that 9-yard pickup.
Yeah, very nice run. Very nice run.
Blocking backs to the right. Shoemaker, the low running back. Marshman under center. Inside handoff to Beckhorn. Beckhorn inside the 20. Beckhorn to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. And David Beckhorn in for a touchdown from 26 yards out. Something we haven't seen from Berwick all season long. Beckhorn lined up at a wing, took the inside handoff, took an outside left for the score.
Some people call it a scissors play, a little bit of an outside trap. He's on the wing on the right. He's going to take the handoff inside the quarterback, who's taken 2 steps back, and hit the C gap on the opposite side. It looked like he was tied up there. He was slowed down there, but he was able to step away from grabs from 2 different men, and once he broke free, you can see the touchdown.
Ken Marshman, 34 for 35, and extra points on the season. Now the hold of Evan Klinger. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 2:49 to go opening quarter. Berwick 7, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Ken Marshman will kick off following the Damon Beckhorn touchdown run, a thing of beauty from 26 yards out. Remember, it was Beckhorn's touchdown run that beat Wyoming area in the first meeting between these two teams. Has the Bulldogs out to a 7-0 lead here, 2:49 to go in the half. Marshman had a touchback earlier, has 20 on the season. And this one, a line drive to the far side, will go into the end zone and make it 21. He is amazing. Kicking machine, Ken Marshman, in Wyoming area will take over at their 20.
Didn't get it very high. A lower kick, but it kind of crossed up the return man who was back there. He awkwardly played it like it was knuckling to him, and it kind of went through his legs once, and he was about a yard deep anyway, so no chance of the return.
So Wyoming area from their own 20-yard line with a 1st and 10. Jimmy LeGrand is in there at a defensive end position now for Berwick. Eric Montez at the other end. I formation behind Dominic DeLuca. He gives to the fullback, Joseph, and nothing doing. Maybe a yard on the play. Berwick swarming to the ball carrier.
Yeah, Berwick tough on the inside. Defensive tackles take on the blockers. Linebackers rush to get on in there.
They give him 2 to the 22-yard line. 2nd down and 8. Clock running. 2:27 to go in this opening quarter. And Berwick with that 7-0 lead.
At linebacker, Joey Lynn, and we're also seeing Noah Craig, who's playing with a big wrap on his hand.
2nd down call coming. Fake handoff, keeping the ball is DeLuca, and he goes nowhere. J.J. Snyder in there for the stop right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd down and 8, Wyoming area.
Came under center, and it's option again. This time, instead of left-handed with the awkward left-handed pitch, he tried to go to the right. But J.J. Snyder took a step across, quickly looked inside, and by that time the quarterback's on him with nowhere to run and the inability to pitch because of the left hand of that defensive end.
Malik McMillan in as an extra defensive back for Berwick on 3rd and 8, Wyoming area from their 22. I formation behind DeLuca. He has the snap. He's back to throw. Big pass rush. He'll be sacked back at the 16-yard line.
J.J. Snyder. Pressure up the middle, Jim. They were going to blitz with Evan Klinger, and that sort of screws up some of the blocking. People widen to get him, but J.J. Snyder, even if they're blocking him, will find that gap and get the penetration. And even with a mobile quarterback like Dom DeLuca, he's going to get him around the legs and trap him so that he can't get out.
4th and long for Wyoming area. DeLuca back at his 5-yard line. Steven Sokachminik does the long snapping. Snap is there. The kick is away. Line drive kick. Klinger from the 48-yard line of the Warriors to the 40 and down to the 35-yard line. So Berwick with a 7-0 lead and great field position with 47 seconds remaining in this opening quarter.
And Berwick seems to have some momentum now. A nice score. Beautiful run by Damon Beckhorn. Guy that could be playing two-hand touch. He's able to get those elusive moves and keep the hands off of him and scamper on in for the 23-yard touchdown.
Boy, I think it's always nice when you get into the postseason and you use some stuff that you haven't used all season. Everybody's got film at this point, but you use some stuff that's not on film. That could be very, very effective, and it was with that run by Beckhorn. Yep. Now from the 35-yard line. Berwick with a 1st and 10, and Frank Sheptock very upset as he is forced to burn a timeout. 47 seconds to go, opening quarter, 7-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptock. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
47 seconds remaining in the opening quarter here at Crispin Field in Berwick. This is the District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. Berwick leading Wyoming area 7-0. Bulldogs following their timeout with a 1st and 10 at the Warrior 35-yard line. Slot to the right side. Now Beckhorn comes in motion. A fake to him and a keep by the quarterback Marshman, and he runs to the 29-yard line.
Ooh, did a somersault when they hit him.
Picks up 6 on the play.
I think he wanted to avoid the knee getting hit. So when he saw the tackle coming, he decided to sort of tumble forward. But he did go with a backflip type of action. 4-4 defense, not showing that nose guard, and that's prone to be hurt by a quarterback running.
2nd and 4. Marshman gives to Beckhorn. He flips the ball to Tegan Wilk inside the 25. Boy, terrific tackle in the open field by Darren Rodney. That play looked like it really had something going. And Tegan Wilk, not an easy man to bring down the open field. Just a textbook tackle by Rodney, or that might have been a big play.
Jared Marshman was able to lead the way, but wasn't sure if he should block inside and leave Rodney for the runner, or if he should try to get Rodney. In any case, Rodney made a wonderful tackle.
It is a 1st down, though, at the 25-yard line as the first quarter has come to an end. With the score, Berwick 7, Wyoming area, nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
KFAB Incorporated, a fabricating and machining company in Berwick, has openings for the following full-time positions: welders, machinists, general maintenance, and laser operators. Positions are available on all 3 shifts with paid training and 50-cent shift differential. KFAB benefits include medical, dental, vision, paid vacation, as well as a 401k plan with company match. Apply online at kfabinc.com or in person at KFAB Inc., 1411 North Vine Street, Berwick.
Berwick Bulldog football.
In other District 2 Quad A quarterfinals tonight, second quarter, North Pocono leads Pittston 14-0. In the first, Valley View leads Crestwood 21-0. And in the second, Coughlin leads Dallas 7-0. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jim Doyle and Andy Legny from Crespin Field in Berwick. 1 quarter in the books in this District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. And Berwick leading Wyoming area by a score of 7-0. And the Bulldogs will have a good opportunity to add to that lead as we start the second period. As they move from our right to our left, they have a first down, and they have it at the Wyoming area 25-yard line.
They're playing pretty good football. A couple of mistakes, a couple of drops, but overcoming them, stepping up after they face a little adversity and sort of keep on with this momentum.
Jared Marshman under center. Evan Klinger, the lone running back behind him. A give to Klinger off the left side. He has room to the 20. Cuts it to the 15, down close to the 14-yard line. Good first down carry, Evan Klinger.
Yeah, he has the burst. Berwick has so many weapons and so many ways of attacking you. I think Frank Sheptock realized that, the little stoppage for the quarter change. Hey, we haven't run Klinger enough. He's a guy who's going to move the chains for us. Let's go off the left side.
10 yards on the carry. Klinger gets it again off the left side. He spun around. He keeps his footing. Gets inside the 10 down to the 8-yard line.
Wyoming area had him penned in, but you mentioned they spun him around but didn't finish the play. Spun him for another 2 or 3 yards, and he's able to break free. Gets 7 yards on that.
Second down and 3. Berwick at the Wyoming area 8-yard line. Owen Shoemaker replaces Klinger at the running back spot. And Shoemaker gets the call, and he's hit hard, but he breaks away from that and gets inside the 5 and keeps those legs churning down near the goal line. He'll come up a little short.
Linebacker Maruck had penetration, met him in the backfield, took the legs out. But Shoemaker put the arm down, regained the balance. The rest of the side was sealed off, and on he went. Put it right down there near the 1-2 yard line. They're going to hurry up tempo.
First down and goal from the 2. Shoemaker the call off the left side, lowers the shoulder, gets into the end zone for Berwick touchdown. Owen Shoemaker from 2 yards out as Berwick builds the lead.
Wonderful drive. After the stoppage, they thought, how do we want to go with this? They decided they could overpower this team by running to their left, and they did so with Evan Klinger on 2 plays. Get it down into the scoring zone, go with the even fresher back and Owen Shoemaker. Give him 2 pops. The first, an outstanding run, showed great balance, and then the second, just a pure power.
7th rushing touchdown of the season for Shoemaker. Extra point attempt coming. Snap, placement. Marshman's kick is up, and his kick is good. Time on the field, 10:55 to go first half. Berwick 14, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick, are your roofing experts for Luzerne, Columbia, and Montour counties. With 26 years of experience and great rates, why go anywhere else when Red's Roofing will get the job done right for your decks, siding, or roofing, specializing in metal and rubber shingles. Most roofing work is done in one day, so remember the name, Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas. Call Red's Roofing, 752-4351. Owner Harry Titus, a proud supporter of the Berwick football team.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptock. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
6 plays, 35 yards. The drive for the Bulldogs. Owen Shoemaker, his 7th rushing touchdown of the season from 2 yards out. Ken Marshman now 2 for 2 in extra points. 14-0 Bulldogs. 10:55 to go in the first half.
Kicking into the wind a little bit this time.
Harshman's kick, very, very high, will be fielded down at the 2-yard line. The return to the 5, to the 10, to the 15, and out to the 25-yard line. That's where the Warriors of Wyoming area will put in play, as the return was by Zachary Williamson.
Alejandro Lopez in on the tackle along with Ralph Norris getting on down rather nicely. Not much of a win, but just enough to not be able to get to the end zone.
So Wyoming area trailing 14-0 has it at their 25-yard line with a 1st and 10. This Berwick defense has been very, very tough to this point. A slot to either side as the sophomore quarterback Dominic DeLuca operates out of the gun. He has the snap. He's looking to the left side. Nothing there. Turns and rolls right. Fires to the sideline, and Trattini makes the catch right at the sideline with Evan Klinger wrapped around him. That's a terrific play by both DeLuca and Trattini for a Wyoming area first down.
Really was tough to hold on to the ball as Evan Klinger comes in from behind, takes the ball with you with double possession and tries to pry it out. He also, Dom DeLuca, the quarterback, had to get it over the linebackers who covered a man up in front.
15 yards on the reception. 1st and 10 Warriors from their 40. Again, a slot to either side. DeLuca has the snap. Berwick coming hard. He will be sacked from behind by Evan Klinger at the 36-yard line. Berwick really getting after the quarterback. Time Klinger on the blitz, and a loss of 4 back to the 36-yard line.
Klinger, Laubach, and Joey Lynn on the blitz. So they believe they can handle man-to-man coverage and handle it long enough for those blitzers to get on in. I have that as the 3rd sack of the game by Berwick.
2nd down and 14. Warriors from their own 36-yard line. DeLuca has the shotgun snap. He's going to keep it himself. He looks for room. He has a little. Gets out to the 40-yard line, picks up about 4 on the play.
Mason Laubach coming up from the safety to square up with him. He wanted to run off the right side, but Tom Monaco was there untouched and just sort of intimidated him to take it inside. Found a nice little seam for the 4-yard gain.
Clock running, 9:20 to go first half. Berwick leading 14-0. Hoping for a rematch, perhaps with North Pocono next week. Remember, they met in the final a year ago in this District 2 Quad A tournament. Trips to the right side on 3rd and long. DeLuca fires a bull pass. Trattini with a great catch and gets to the 40-yard line. Boy, good hands by Robert Trattini as DeLuca throw a bullet, and it was high. Trattini brings it down, and they get a first down at the Berwick 41.
The quarterback really sold it. He looked to the right like he wanted to hit a man doing a slant. And then he went down the middle and really drilled that ball in well, and that's a nice long reception.
19 yards on the play by Trattini. Trips to the right side. DeLuca's going to keep it himself after getting the shotgun snap, and he is pushed back after a gain of about a yard in the play as Eric Montez and Tom Monaco check in for Berwick defensively. Ben Peck and Mason Laubach will leave. 2nd and 9. Wyoming area at the Berwick 40.
Dom DeLuca's a gamer, Jim. I like the way he plays. When we first saw him back in September in week 3, he was just sort of getting acclimated to the position. They limited what they wanted him to do. Now you're seeing where he has mastery of the full package, and he seems very comfortable with it all.
2nd and 9 for the Berwick 40. Minicello comes in motion, takes the handoff, has room at the 35. Flags fly as he got the first down inside the 30, but we'll have to check the flag.
Alex Parks eventually finishing the tackle, but he would have had the chains. Most likely a hold on the inside near the line of scrimmage to help him get that soft corner off the left. Wyoming area bringing their huddle all the way back. This team likes reverses. It likes the creative type of plays. They want to get Minicello touches offensively besides the passing plays. But the hold right there at the point of attack will bring it back.
They'll bring up a 2nd and 19 for the Warriors from midfield as Malik McMillan checks in for Berwick, getting an extra defensive back, replacing linebacker Noah Craig. as DeLuca under center. Backs in an open set behind him. He drops back to throw. He's looking. He fires to the far side. Too high. Minicello got a hand on it, but couldn't pull it down at the Berwick 39-yard line.
The rush was just by the front four, and that time it was nice protection. Berwick couldn't fight their way through it, but good coverage in the secondary. A lot of ways to defend the pass, sometime with extra coverage. You mentioned the nickel, the dime package, the substitutions to put more coverage people in. And Berwick had the strong coverage that time, even though they didn't have the pressure.
Third down and 19. Three receivers to the right. DeLuca back to throw. Looking. Fires incomplete. Trattini the closest one there, but wasn't anywhere near him. Again, good pressure on the quarterback.
They twisted the defensive ends. They started on left and right and ended up changing positions, and the blockers didn't know which way to go. Takes a little time to make the move, but once you get to that other side, you're going to be free. And on a deeper pass route, they had enough time to get good pressure in there.
DeLuca will punt once again. Stephen Sokash-Minnick does the long snapping. Evan Klinger's had a couple of good punt returns in this game as the kick goes towards him, but then goes out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Andy, one thing the Berwick defense has done so far with 7:23 to go in the half is make Wyoming area one-dimensional. The running game is not there. They have been forced to go to the pass. And, one sack or one penalty, and that takes you out of that drive.
Yeah, I'm surprised Wyoming area is not trying a little bit more to try to reestablish that. But I think sometime you get to where there is a penalty and you end up with trouble. You're playing from behind and you're forced into being one-dimensional. Give them a 1st and 10. You'll try to see what they can do with the running, especially of Dom DeLuca, and especially trying to get some touches for Mark Anthony Minicello.
Berwick from their own 20-yard line with a 1st and 10. Bulldogs lead at 14-0. 7:23 to go, opening half from Crispin Field. A running back to either side of Jared Marshman, who gives the ball to Damon Beckhorn, who tries to sweep the left side, gets over the 25 to the 27, flag down on the play.
Cameron Carr wrestling him to the ground. The flag in the backfield where Beckhorn was sort of working, using the blocking of a running back to help him. I would expect Berwick to be pushed back this time. Seems a lot of, down and distances where there's more than 10 yards to be earned, and kind of takes away from the flow of the game and from typical game plans.
So the penalty will bring it back to the 10-yard line, bring up 1st and 20 for the Bulldogs. Again, when these teams met back on September 8th in West Pittston, 12 penalties against the Bulldogs in that game. And now Marshman sends Beckhorn in motion to the right. The give is to Klinger. Evan Klinger gets a couple, about 3 to the 13-yard line.
It ran hard. Shane Eslick, defensive end, tight end, coming on down and finding him. They can play it a little bit safer, play off a little bit, keep their eyes open for draws and delays like that play.
2nd down and 17. Berwick back at their 13-yard line. 3 receivers to the right. Marshman has the snap and he rolls to his right. Fires on the run, has Beckhorn, and Beckhorn is brought down quickly at about the 16-yard line. So Wyoming area, good tackling team. We've had a couple of opportunities where a Wilk or a Beckhorn in the open field has a chance to do something, and good tackles. A 4-yard gain there. It's 3rd down and a long 3 for Berwick at the 17-yard line.
Long 13, Jim.
Oh, 13,
after the penalty,
Slot to the left side.
Oop,
and
make it 18.
Berwick gets another penalty as Ben Peck started pass protecting before the snap.
Wanted to get himself into position. Looked really good at doing it. Solo performance, though.
It's going to be 3rd and 18 for Berwick back at the 12-yard line.
Have to watch how aggressively you choose to go for this.
Yeah, with the 14-0 lead and your defense holding up, May not want to try for all of it. Let's see how they play it. Marshman out of the gun, has the snap. He's back to throw. He's looking. There's nothing there. He's keeping the football. He's rolling right. Fires out of the backfield. Has Klinger. Klinger over the 30. Klinger to the 35. And Klinger out to the 37-yard line. Terrific job by Jared Marshman and Evan Klinger.
Yes, it was. They'll move the chains. He wanted to look to trips here on the near side of the field, but it broke down. He goes to scramble mode, scrambles to the right. Evan Klinger adjusts the route. He hits him at about 10 yards, then Klinger turns and runs with the ball to earn the chains.
25 yards on the pass play on a 3rd and 18. Marshman takes the snap, keeps the football himself, has some room, and he gets over the 40, out to the 41, maybe the 42-yard line. So Jared Marshman playing his 5th game since returning from the injury and running the football on regularly called plays for the first time. And looks good doing it. Picked up 5 there, 2nd down and 5.
I think there's a lot of 1st and 10 situation where he's going to just audible that if he sees there's no nose guard. Berwick can bend the people out, and he'll take on the linebackers.
Norris on a wing to the left side. Marshman gives the ball to Klinger. Evan Klinger is hit hard by Banaszewski, breaks away and gets out to the 46-yard line. Boy, Charles Banaszewski put a big hit on Evan Klinger, and he bounced right away from it somehow and got to the 45. Picked up 3, but you'll never find a better 3-yard carry than we just saw. It's 3rd down and 2 for Berwick from their 45.
I heard the oohs and ahs. I thought the ball was loose, Jim. There's no way I assumed he can recover from that concussive-like hit. He got popped and spun away.
Shoemaker replaces Klinger as the running back, and Owen Shoemaker has the call and picks up the 1st down. Shoemaker straight ahead out near midfield. Clock running, 4:17 remaining in this first half. Berwick leading by a score of 14-0, and the Bulldogs with a 1st down at midfield.
No huddling. They'll get the play from the sideline with the skilled people. The linemen have an understanding of what their jobs will be.
3 receivers to the left. Marshman out of the gun with Shoemaker to his left. Garrett back to throw, fires as Alex Parks, and Parks down to the 40, maybe the 39-yard line.
Trying to see if that's his first catch of the season, Jim, and yes, it is. So a new weapon in Alex Parks. Split out as one of the receivers on the left side. They use his talents.
Berwick 1st and 10 at the Wyoming area 40-yard line. Bulldogs trying to add to what is a 14-0 lead as we go under 4 minutes remaining in this opening half.
Marshman looks comfortable.
Beckhorn wide right. Marshman out of the gun. Beckhorn comes in motion. Fake a handoff to him. Give it to Shoemaker up the middle to the 35 to 30. Shoemaker spins to 25 and down to the 21-yard line. Owen Shoemaker, you know, whenever they fake that jet sweep to David Beckhorn, things seem to open up, and that has to get attention.
It gets attention. Linebackers may widen, but the blocking will take the credit for it as well, as will Shoemaker's intensive running. He has an intensity. He spun away and got an extra 5 yards on that one.
18 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 Berwick at the Wyoming area 22-yard line. Klinger back in there as the running back, but it's Marshman who's going to carry it, and Marshman is hit and dropped at the line of scrimmage. A flag down the play.
2 players were mixed up, and I believe we're going to get a hold or a personal foul in there. Tom Monaco was a defensive player where they threw the flag at them, still behind the plate. Marshman, I think, can do the running straight ahead, Jim, but it doesn't look like he has the quicks to do the running wide. Holding against Berwick. That will be their 5th penalty of the half, Jim.
That has been an issue. In fact, they're ahead of their pace. Bulldogs average 8.1 penalties a game. It'll be 1st and 20 now at the Wyoming area 32-yard line. Slot to the right side. Tegan Wilk wide left. Marshman out of the gun with Klinger to his right. Marshman back to throw. Big pass rush. Steps away. Fires downfield into traffic. Fakey, no. Incomplete. Jared Watts had his hands on the football, couldn't bring it down. Well, what a job by Marshman to avoid a sack, step up into it, and throw that ball on target.
He sidestepped the man who had a pretty good grab on him, spun him a little, but he's sturdy back there. I then followed rather than getting the number of the rusher, and ball ends up being dropped, or it probably would have been a touchdown. I think he was thinking how to turn and tiptoe his way into the end zone.
2nd and 20 from the 32. 3 receivers to the right. Marshman rolls that way. Stops, plants the feet, fires over the middle. Incomplete.
Should be a flag.
Jared Watts gets up looking for the flag.
Yeah.
He was certainly tackled.
Shane Aslick had him. He's a defensive end, and he's not going to have very good coverage. Berwick fans react. They know the football. They understand the game. They saw it the way we saw it. But they chose not to throw that flag on the quick slanting pattern where Eslick is actually tackling the receiver.
3rd and 20. Berwick at the 32-yard line. Marshman has the snap. Back to throw. Looking long to the far side to Beckhorn. Did he make the catch? Inside the 10, they're ruling no. Incomplete. Again, a good throw, though, by Jared Marshman on target.
It was. You'd have to watch that one and replay to see if it was a drop or not. He got himself open, and it was still back shoulder, so he did turn to try to get to the ball, but he's juggling it on the sideline, and eventually he's not holding it when he comes up.
So it's going to be 4th and 20 Berwick from the 32, and the Bulldogs use a timeout. 2:53 to go in the half. Berwick leads 14-0. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
The Mayo Funeral Homes, located at 110 Chestnut Street in Berwick and 77 Main Street in Chickashinny, are proud sponsors of Berwick Bulldog football. The Mayo Funeral Homes, serving all faiths, makes it easier for those you love with pre-arranged funeral counseling, insurance, and pre-financed funerals. Mayo Funeral Homes also offers expert guidance in both traditional and cremation services. Mayo Funeral Homes, perfection in every detail.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
2 minutes, 53 seconds remaining in the first half here at Crispin Field. This is the District 2 Quad A quarterfinals, and Berwick leading Wyoming for a 14-0. Bulldogs called the timeout to talk about a 4th and 20 situation. The ball, though, at the Wyoming area 32-yard line. And if it were not for the wind, I think they would give Ken Marshman a chance at a long field goal, but it is wind blowing into Bulldogs' face. So they'll go for it on 4th and 20 from the 32.
Would be a 49-yarder.
Jared Marshman has the snap. Big pass rush. He's in trouble, and he will be sacked back at the 37-yard line. Cameron Carr among the people in on the play for Wyoming areas. They came hard after the Berwick quarterback on the obvious passing situation, and Wyoming area will take over at their own 37-yard line. They have 2:49 to go in the half, and they have 2 timeouts remaining.
Unable to pick up all the pressure that was coming, so Berwick will turn it over on downs. Long way for Wyoming area to go. They've used 1 timeout, so they do have 2 left.
That penalty was big, and then the sack puts it away, and now Wyoming area with a chance as the flag flies. We're going to have one of those games.
Umpire saw something he didn't like. Wyoming area looks to be backing their huddle up. Did he count 12 men? One's going off. Normally it's the back judge who does the counting, but the umpire kind of looked at the formation and says, hey, you can't do that. And back 5 yards for Wyoming area.
1st and 15 for the Warriors, back at their 32-yard line. Slot to the right side. Slot to the left. DeLuca out of the gun. Has the snap, back to throw, big pass rush, and he will be brought down at the 33-yard line. Won't be a sack because he got a yard on the play, but a near sack. And that freshman, Mason Lawball, when he's in there, he's very, very active. He had the first hands on DeLuca.
Eric Montez was the man who made sure he would not get away. He wrapped him up low. He's having a solid game defensively.
2nd and 14 now. for Wyoming area. Clock running, 2:18 to go in the half, and DeLuca under center with an I formation behind him. And he rolls to his left, and he stops, and he plants the feet, and he throws long downfield into traffic, and it's incomplete. As it was intended for Minichello, and he played the role of defensive back and kept Ryan Lawbaugh from the interception.
Lawbaugh felt he should have had it. It was there in his hands. But as Minichello's there, he grabs sort of at the biceps of each and throws him down hard to the ground, splitting the hands away. So whether he's able to separate the hands or the jolt of Lawbaugh hitting the ground, in any case, it is the receiver who plays defender.
Van Peck shaking up on the play. As he goes to the sideline, they'll tend to him. Tom Monaco replaces him on the defensive front for Berwick as Wyoming area faces 3rd down and 14. Backs at an open set. And DeLuca back to throw. Wanted to set up a screen to the far side. Nothing there, so he throws it intended for Williams on the sideline. Boy, great defense by Berwick. He rolled right, was looking to set up a screen to the left, and Berwick was all over that screen. So DeLuca forced to throw it downfield. Incomplete, stops the clock with 2 minutes to go, and 4th and long coming up.
Berwick's secondary was able to cover the screen, had a man right in it, but when he looked way over there while rolling to the right, he saw Eric Montez coming at him full sprint, which did not allow him to set his feet as he tried to throw it downfield.
So DeLuca's been busy punting the football in this opening half. He's standing back at the 21-yard line. Snap is there. Kick is away. Beautiful kick. Very, very high. Tegan Wilk fields it at the Berwick 37. He runs into Evan Klinger, bounces away, and makes a good return down to the Wyoming area 45-yard line.
The reaction at the end was that Darren Rodney got him by the shoulder pads and almost put like a judo spin move on him. So yes, it was strange. First, the point of the catch, he runs into his own blocker. He didn't see him because he's focusing on the ball. The man's getting set. So that looked bad. But then a nice lengthy return, and then the hard spin down hit.
So Berwick in business. They have it at the Wyoming area 45-yard line. They have 1 timeout remaining, 1:49 to go in this half, and the Bulldogs try to add to what is a 14-0 lead. Tegan Wilk wide left. Slot to the right. Parks outside of Beckhorn. Marshman gives to Klinger. It opens up. The 40, the 35, the 30, the 25, and pushed out of bounds is Evan Klinger inside the Wyoming area 20-yard line. Great job by the Berwick offensive front. Huge hole for Evan Klinger off this left side.
They sold it well with the faking action. Little counter look to it, and then knifing from right to left through things. As you mentioned, great pull by the offensive line and great speed by Klinger.
28 yards on the carry from the 17. Marshman has the snap, fires, has his man, Joe Norris. Norris gets to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line on the quick hitter. The clock runs 1:30 to go in the half. Again, Berwick with 1 timeout remaining. Give him 5 to the 12-yard line.
Quick hitter. They'll keep things up-tempo, watching the clock.
Joey Lynn in there as a blocking back to the left of Marshman, who has 2 receivers to the right, and Wilk to the left. Now in motion comes Beckhorn, a fake to him. Marshman keeps the football. Jared Marshman is inside the 10, down to around the 7-yard line.
Running hard, 1 man in there, Justin Joseph, able to get down low at his knees and spin him to the ground. Just short of the chains, 1/3 of the length of a football.
Ball just short of the 7-yard line. Clock running, 45 seconds remaining. Berwick still with that timeout in their back pocket. Shoemaker comes in there at the running back spot. A fake to him. Marshman keeps the football and has the first down to 6, and now Berwick will use the timeout. 33.9 seconds to go in the half. 14-0 Bulldogs. You're listening to Berwick Football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Northeast Pennsylvania, it's your home. And no matter what stage of life you find yourself in, what you rely on most is security. When that house becomes a home, the moment you get that new car, when your dreams become a reality, it's times like this when you have to look to the experts for advice and financial peace of mind. They're there there with innovative products and services to help you with your financial future every step of the way. Together, they will help dreams and goals become reality. They're more than a bank. They're your neighbors. They are First Keystone Community Bank. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
33.9 seconds to go in this first half. Berwick now out of timeout. They have a first and goal at the Wyoming area 7-yard line. They lead by a score of 14-0.
Tough to decide how to play this as a coach. You really do have to watch the clock. Then you'd want to throw either incompletes or out of bounds or touchdown. Stops it. A running play gets to be a little bit dangerous. Much as Berwick feels they can run it in from here, they'd really have to go hurry up.
3 receivers to the right. Marshman out of the gun. First and goal for the Wyoming area 7-yard line. Klinger is the running back. Marshman back to throw. Fires incomplete. Dangerous pass as the Wyoming area defender got in front of the intended receiver, Alex Parks. Clock stops, 30.9 seconds to go. Second and goal, Berwick at the 7.
Parks, a bit of an inexperienced receiver, really just wasn't looking for the ball, fighting to get himself open. And there was a little bit of a slide to his right. He'd have been more open, and that's where the ball was thrown.
Second and goal from the 7. Again, 3 receivers to the right, but Marshman looks to the left, and he has a touchdown to Joe Norris. Marshman on target, 7 yards to Norris, and Berwick builds the lead.
Norris was wide to the left, ran a slant pattern, going to have inside position on the cornerback, and they scored. Jim, we have a player down.
7-yard touchdown pass from Jared Marshman to his tight end, Joe Norris. As Berwick builds the lead, we'll have an injury timeout, 27.6 seconds to go in the half as Berwick gets the punt return by Tegan Wilk to the 45-yard line and then puts together a drive, the biggest play, the 28-yard run by Evan Klinger. So the lead at 20-0, pending the extra point, but right now the concern with the injured Berwick player down around the 8-yard line.
He's surrounded by the training staff. It looked like one of the bigger players, so he really can't guess because we have no notion of the number.
Joe Norris with the second touchdown reception of the season for him as Marshman on target. Nicely conceived play. 3 receivers to the right, all the attention going that way. He comes to the left, and Norris was by his lonesome.
Yeah, and Berwick uses all their receivers. I mean, we've seen them throw. The first pass in this series was to Alex Parks. It was just a one catch all year, and that just coming a few minutes previously. So they're not afraid to, sort of put what you consider the experienced talent to one side of the formation and come the other way. Alex Parks ran a real nice, Joe Norris, real nice slant-in pattern. Good position. Jared Marshman putting it right there.
Tom Monaco being helped to the sideline, putting no weight on that right leg as Berwick will line up for the extra point attempt from Ken Marshman with 27.6 seconds remaining in this opening half. Losing Monaco for any amount of time would be a big loss for this team. A terrific two-way player on the offensive and defensive lines.
Just starting to put the ankle to the ground. The right ankle is the one twisted.
As Evan Klinger will hold for the extra point attempt from Marshman. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time out of the field. 27.6 seconds to go first half. Berwick, 21. Wyoming area, nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Hogs Hollow Saloon is the place to get the area's most popular barbecue. All house smoked daily. Smoked pulled pork, ribs, beef brisket, jumbo wings, chicken, and more. Hogs Hollow Saloon is bringing entertainment back to the area 3 nights a week. National tribute bands, local bands, and Wednesday night open mics. Inside dining, outdoor dining on the deck, entertainment inside and out. Be sure to grab the area's original Orange Crush. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 between Berwick and Orangeville. Check them out on Facebook.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Ken Marshman will kick it off following his third extra point of this opening half, which has 27.6 seconds remaining. Berwick leading by a score of 21-0. Last score, that touchdown pass, Jared Marshman to Joe Norris. Capping a 6-play, 45-yard drive. Marshman's kick into the wind will be fielded at the 9-yard line. The return by Minicello, the 30, the 35, the 40, the 45 over midfield, down that far sideline. Minicello is brought down from behind at the 15-yard line with 16.8 seconds remaining in this first half.
Ended up where it was finally brought down by Tegan Wilk. Ken Marshman, the kicker, got over there and took on some blockers, which has slowed him down one step. Tegan Wilk never quit on the play. His speed and his angle, able to catch the speedy Minicello before he reached the end zone.
17-yard line is where Wyoming area has the ball. And they have 2 timeouts left, but just 16.8 seconds remaining in the half.
Watch for the creativity, Jim. They like to trick plays.
Under center is DeLuca. Pump fake, looking into the end zone, incomplete. Overthrew his man, Shane Eslick. Good coverage in the end zone by the Bulldogs. Malik McMillan, one of the people there. Clock stops, 11.7 seconds to go in the half.
Berwick's had good coverage all night, Jim. This quarterback, Dom DeLucas, looked very sharp. He throws at 57% on the season. And yet Berwick has held him to just 2 completes in 9 attempts.
Eslick wide left. 3 receivers to the right from the 17. DeLuca has the snap, rolls right, fires a bullet, has his man at the 11 and the tackle down at the 8-yard line, and the Warriors will use a quick timeout. Brian Williams makes the catch for a gain of about 9. 4.5 seconds remaining in this half. We'll keep it here.
Play doesn't help them quite enough. They'll have 1 play left. Of course, if you're shorter, easier to get that potential touchdown from the 9-yard line. Berwick will huddle up with all the defensive people. Frank Sheptock out on the numbers on the field. Berwick looks to have a player down, too. David Beckmore not getting up over on the far side. Oh, a tough defender to lose in a situation like this. Down on one knee, favoring an ankle. They'll be coming out for this play, I'd imagine.
4.5 seconds remain in the half. Wyoming area still with 1 timeout remaining as they face a 3rd down and 1 at the Berwick 8-yard line.
Not sure if Wyoming area realizes Beckmorn is injured. If they did, they might reconsider their play and throw in that direction where Berwick puts a rather fresh jersey.
So here we go. Warriors, they're marking at the 9-yard line of Berwick, so it's closer to 2 yards needed for the first down. They come very quickly to the line of scrimmage. DeLuca under center. After a shift, no running backs behind the quarterback, who is back to throw and fires over the middle. The ball is intercepted. Joey Lynn picks it off at the 5, returns to the 10, to the 15. Lynn spins still on his feet out to the 30-yard line. There is a flag down well after the play. No time showing left in the half, but Joey Lynn keeps Wyoming area off the scoreboard with an interception at the goal line.
The shift was tricky. Berwick had the propensity to jump. They've been penalty prone, but they did not. So instead of giving them a shot from the 4-yard line, it stays at the 9. You go from a 2 running back formation to a no running back formation. He gives the impression he's going to throw wide, either left or right, and instead he pops it slowly over the middle. And Joe Lynn, the linebacker there, as well as the safeties behind. But Lynn has to have the coverage in front of that man to prevent the touchdown. Penalty on Berwick, Jim, so there'll be no more plays.
Yeah, this is interesting. Both teams are off the field now, and the officials are still conferencing.
They can talk all they want. We're done.
There's no one out there to run anything but the end of the half.
Yeah.
The referee talking to Wyoming area coach Randy Spencer. I can't imagine what the discussion is.
The only thing is, if it was a personal foul, you might penalize it at the end of the half. Boy, they called it illegal receiver downfield against Wyoming area, and then they're going to call the hold on Wyoming area. And how about one more? 2 against Wyoming area. Yeah, start that halftime clock. Run it out.
The first half has come to an end. Berwick 21, Wyoming area nothing. We'll be back with the scoring and stats for the first half. Also, Ben Willis will bring you updated on the high school football playoff scoreboard. Here it's 21-0. Berwick, you're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Being in business for over 100 years really means something. It means you've been putting out an excellent product and taking care of your customers so they want to come back. Dalo's Bakery, Berwick, falls into that special group of businesses. Oven fresh pizza, bread and rolls. Order extra pizza for a fast dinner when the party arrives. Open 5 a.m. to 8 p.m. 7 days a week. Visit Dalo's Bakery at 1201 Fries Avenue, Berwick, or call 752-4519.
If you're considering any type of construction project, call Fenstermacher Construction at 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction specializes in new home construction, roofing, siding, kitchen and bathroom remodeling, additions, and garages. They have over 10 years experience in the home building industry, and they are licensed and insured. For quality and reliable service, call 204-4899. Fenstermacher Construction, proud to sponsor the Berwick Bulldogs in the playoff series.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
As a community bank, First Columbia Bank and Trust knows the value of helping our young people dream, excel, and reach their goals. For more than 118 years, First Columbia has been committed to helping our communities prosper and our youth succeed. We're proud to invest in our youth through athletics, the arts, and education. First Columbia Bank and Trust, every step of the way.
Your hometown bank, the first place to go for your big-time plans. Together we'll grow every step of the way. First Columbia Bank.
Welsh's Towing and Repair proudly supports the Berwick Bulldogs and wishes them a successful year. Welsh's Towing and Repair has a long tradition of helping. You can call Welsh's 24/7 at 759-9737 if you are in need of a tow, jump start, tire change, are locked out, or to request them on scene if you're in an accident. Welsh's accepts all major insurance and motor clubs, and they offer all types of preventive maintenance and state inspections for cars, trucks, and motorcycles. Welsh's Towing and Repair, South Mercer Street in Berwick, and at their South Center Storage Facility, Columbia Boulevard in Berwick.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Halftime from Crespin Field in Berwick. This is a District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. Berwick leading Wyoming area by a score of 21-0. Bulldogs had a chance early as they drove from their 29 to the 16-yard line of Wyoming area, but a pass by Jared Marshman that probably should have been caught went through a receiver and was intercepted by Dominic DeLuca in the end zone. And Wyoming area stopped the threat. But later, Berwick scored on a 3-play, 51-yard drive, 2 big plays. 16-yard rocket screen to Tegan Wilk. And then David Beckhorn lined up on a wing to the right, took the inside handoff and raced 26 yards for the touchdown. Ken Marshman had the extra point. That was with 2:49 to go in the first. And Berwick had a 7-0 lead. The Bulldogs added to that lead early in the second quarter on a 6-play, 35-yard drive. Owen Shoemaker in from 2 yards out for his 7th rushing touchdown of the season. Ken Marshman with the extra point. Bulldogs led 14-0. They had another great scoring opportunity in the second. They drove from their 22. They drove to the 22-yard line of Wyoming area, and they had a 1st and 10, but a penalty and later a sack, and they were out of scoring position. But they did come back for a score with just 27.6 seconds remaining in the half as Jared Marshman had 3 receivers to the right from the 7-yard line of Wyoming area through to the left to tight end Joe Norris for the touchdown. Second touchdown reception of the season for Norris. Biggest play along that 6-play drive was a 28-yard run by Evan Klinger. Ken Marshman followed with the extra point. Berwick led 21-0. The ensuing kickoff was returned by Wyoming area's Mark Anthony Minichello, 73 yards to the Berwick 17-yard line. But on 3rd and 1 from the 9 with just 4.5 seconds to go in the half, DeLuca's pass over the middle was intercepted by Berwick linebacker Joey Lynn, his first interception of the season, stopping the threat and preserving Berwick's shutout at the break. It's Berwick 21, Wyoming area nothing. Stay with us. We'll have first half stats and also playoff scores from around the region with Ben Willis. You're listening to Berwick Football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Harry's Sporting Goods, a staple in downtown Berwick, in business for over 125 years. Harry's Sporting Goods carries a wide variety of sneakers and cleats, now featuring Brooks running shoes. Harry specializes in sneakers and seasonal sporting goods, but also carries work boots and name brands including Nike and Under Armour. Harry's Sporting Goods, keeping the tradition alive while keeping up in the new era. Visit them on Facebook or on West Front Street in Berwick. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Proud to support area sports teams.
Berlin's Greenhouses expresses their sincere thanks to all of their loyal customers for their patronage during the fall season and throughout the year. They look forward to serving you again next spring. Gift certificates make great gift ideas for the coming holidays, and you can purchase them from Berlin's Greenhouses, as well as wreaths and grave blankets. They will be available during the week and by appointment by calling 752-4255. Berlin's Greenhouses, 6081 Park Road in Berwick. Wish the Berwick Bulldogs well during the playoffs.
The Classic Rock Channel, 103.5.
For 50 years, Bodner Sales and Service, 204 West Front Street, Berwick, has been providing superior office equipment to businesses and organizations throughout the area. They are proud of carrying the award-winning line of Konica Minolta office copiers and printers and have purchase, lease, and sales plans to fit any size budget. Regardless of your needs, Bodner's courteous staff will take care of you promptly and efficiently. Bodner Sales and Service has been family-owned since 1967 and would like to thank their loyal customers for 50 great years while also inviting new customers to find out just how good local service can be.
Berwick Bulldog Football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard this evening in District 4 Class AA quarterfinals. Halftime. Southern Columbia leads North Penn Mansfield 42-20. Central Columbia leads Towanda 14-0. Mount Carmel leads South Williamsport 21-7. And Line Mountain leads Wellsboro 14-0, all at half. In District 4 Class AAA semifinals, halftime, Danville leads Mifflinburg 35-7, and late in the second, Lewisburg leads Loyalsock 24-7. In other District 2 Quad A quarterfinals tonight at half, North Pocono leads Pittston 35-7, Valley View leads Crestwood 49-0, and Coughlin leads Dallas 21-0. In the Eastern Conference AA Championship tonight, now in the third quarter, Northwest leads Bloomsburg 3-0. In District 4 Class Quad A semifinals, late in the second quarter, Shikellamy leads Athens 41-0, and at half, Selinsgrove leads Jersey Shore 7-0. And in Districts 2-4 Class 6A semifinals, second quarter, Scranton leads Delaware Valley 14-7, and at half, Hazleton leads Williamsport 21-7. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazleton, 103.5.
Time from Crispin Field with the Bulldogs leading Wyoming area by a score of 21-0. Stats from the opening half. Andy Lickney.
On the ledger of total offense, Jim, Berwick has a commanding lead. 217 yards to 49 yards. Have a lead in time of possession. We can judge that by number of plays. 34 plays to just 24 for Wyoming area. But yet, at Minicello, not been slowed down by kicker Marshman, and they didn't have a great effort by Teagan Wilk. We could be looking at a 21-7 game here despite these commanding leads. Berwick suffered 5 penalties. This has been a nightmare game for them. They hurt themselves in the third week of the season. They played Wyoming area with some penalties. They've suffered a turnover, an interception that should have actually been a catch that could have turned into a touchdown. But overall, Berwick's playing well enough to win this and to win it going away. We'll look at Berwick's numbers. On the ground, 155 yards. They are running the quarterback, Jared Marshman. We wondered because of injury how much they would run him. They're basically running him up the middle on design plays. He's looked good on that. Tried one wide, didn't look nearly as good. He's been forced to scramble. He's been sacked once. On the evening, 7 carries for 25 yards, and a number of those by design. Evan Klinger has 67 yards from the standard running back position, and he's looked strong. 7 carries for the 67 yards for Evan Klinger. Owen Shoemaker, of course, spells him, and he's no break for a defense. 4 carries for 29 yards for him. He has a touchdown run to his credit. Damon Beckhorn has had 2 carries, a 3-yarder, and then follow with a 26-yard touchdown. Ran him from a wing back, ran a little counter action out of the wing. He went over to the other side and hit the C-gap, able to sort of sidestep 2 people and nifty moves at the line and then speed on in for the score. Tegan Wilk has a 5-yard run to his credit, and we mentioned the quarterback Marshman with his numbers. In all, Berwick with 21 rushes, 155 yards here at halftime, looking strong with their running game, although we did see an injury to Tom Monaco, a 2-way lineman, that could hurt Berwick in the future. Passing, Jared Marshman's numbers should look much better. Officially, he is 7 completes in 13 attempts, 1 interception that was the receiver's fault, and 62 yards in the air. Beside the one that the receiver let through his hands and into the defense, there were 2 or 3, maybe even another 4 rather easily catchable balls in there. So Marshman's been on target, but relatively pedestrian numbers, 7 of 13, 62 yards, and he'll be marked with his first interception of the year. 62 yards in the air. Damon Beckhorn has 2 catches, but minus 1 yard. First one was a sideways pass, lost 5 on that, then caught a 4-yarder a little later. They're playing him tightly. He, too, twisted an ankle at the very end of the half. We'll have to watch for his return. Keegan Wilk got a nice 16-yarder. Alex Parks was targeted a few times in this game. He made his first catch of the season. First time they threw to him, that was a 10-yarder. Very nice play. Joe Norse, 2 catches, a 5-yarder, and then a 7-yard slant for a touchdown. They chose to isolate him, put 3 receivers to the other side of the field. He had the one-on-one coverage with the corner at the end zone, able to put a nice move, head fake him, get good inside position, and scored on the 7-yard bullet from Jared Marshman. Evan Klinger also has a catch, a 25-yarder to him. Marshman's looking to throw left. As he rolls that way, he's flushed, reverses field, and hits Evan Klinger, who goes 25 yards for the Jays. So a number of receivers, 5 in all, some different names than we usually call, combining for 7 catches and 62 yards in the air. Add it to the 155 on the ground. Berwick has 217 yards here at halftime. Looking at Wyoming area, their running game has been stuffed. The running backs have only had 3 carries in all for a total of 4 yards. I have Donovan O'Boyle 2 carries, 2 yards, and Darren Rodney 1 carry for 2. The quarterback's been forced with the rest of the carries, some by design, a lot on scrambles. He officially is 10 carries, minus 2 yards, and I have him suffering 3 sacks over the course of the game. Don DeLuca's a good one, but Berwick's had his number and constantly pressuring him. And in his running game, just 2 yards on 10 carries. And for the Wyoming area Warriors overall, 13 rushes, 6 yards. Passing, again, the defense has been superb. They limited Don DeLuca to just 3 completions and 11 attempts. 1 interception by Joey Lynn in the end zone right at the end of the half. And 43 yards in the air for Wyoming area. Shows how strong Berwick's been playing, both the pressure game and in coverage. Robert Trattini's looked very strong, receiving 2 catches for 34 yards, shown great hands, way to get open even in tight coverage, and DeLuca's drilled a few into him. Brian Williams has the other catch next to the last play of the half, got a little 9-yarder, 9 yards short of the end zone. So 3 catches and 11 attempts for 43 yards in the air for Wyoming area. Just 6 rushing yards gives them 49 at half. Compare it to Berwick's 217. And it looks like the more dominant performance than the scoreboard showing. And with Minichello's great return at the end of the half, it could have been even tighter. But right now, 21-0, Jim.
And just remember that this is a Wyoming area team that put 58 points on the board against Williamsport just 2 weeks ago. That same Williamsport team that beat Berwick last Friday. So a dominating first half for the Bulldogs as they lead it 21-0. We'll be back with the second half kickoff. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Neighbor Fence Company has fencing for where you want it, serving Columbia, Montour, and Luzerne counties. Neighbor Fence provides top-quality residential and commercial fencing, vinyl, chain link, wood, aluminum, and ornamental fencing, plus vinyl railing and specialty products. Neighbor Fence Company, 1140 State Route 239 in Wapwallopen. Call 570-752-4423 or visit them online at neighborfencecompany.com. Neighbor Fence Company is a proud sponsor of local youth athletic teams.
Riverview Block of Berwick, with over 60 years of service, can handle all of your block and concrete needs. They carry all sizes of concrete and lightweight block. They have front end discharge trucks for ready-mix concrete. Riverview Block also carries all masonry supplies, sand and gravel. For prompt delivery, call Riverview Block 752-7191. Riverview Block is proud to support the Berwick Bulldogs.
103.5, the Classic Rock Channel.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
Ryan, technician with Safe Light Auto Glass.
So you think all auto glass companies are the same? Well, they're not. With Safe Light, you get more. Every windshield we replace is backed by a national lifetime guarantee, keeping you covered wherever you are. Plus, SafeLight has more glass in stock than anyone, so we can get to you faster.
Just tell your insurance company you want SafeLight, or call us at 1-800-800-2727, or go to safelight.com.
DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel. Custom-built LED signs, vehicle graphics, custom wraps, banners, screen printing, mugs, T-shirts, business signs, magnets, hats, embroidery, stand-ups, indoor signage, and custom car accents. DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel. Family-owned and operated since the turn of the century. All work is produced in-shop. DeFevo does not sell products that they do not make, and that equals quality control. DeFevo Graphics Signs and Apparel on Route 11 between Bloomsburg and Berwick at 7553 Columbia Boulevard, or online at defevographics.com.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
About ready for the start of the second half here at Crispin Field. This is a District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. Number 1 seed Berwick leading Wyoming area by a score of 21-0. You heard in the scores from Ben Willis, North Pocono having their way against Pittston area. And if these scores hold up, that would mean a rematch of last year's District 2 final, with North Pocono going against Berwick. Of course, North Pocono beating the Bulldogs last year at their place, 21-6. That game would be here at the Crispin Field, as Berwick, owning the top seed, will be here as long as they stay alive in the playoffs. Two key injuries for Berwick in that opening half. One is to their two-way lineman, Tom Monaco. So we'll see when Berwick gets the football to start this second half who will be in his place at the guard spot. Then Damon Beckhorn came up limping late in that half. He is on the sideline with his helmet on. We'll find out soon enough about his status, as Berwick will have the ball to start this second half.
I think we'll see Beckhorn, sort of an irony. He's loosening up down to the left where Jared Marshman is throwing the football. Marshman takes a snap and steps back 1 foot to set and throw, and he stepped on Damon Beckhorn's bad ankle. So I think Beckhorn's going to be able to shake it off, but the two kind of looked at each other a little bit. Some apologies being exchanged in there.
Berwick will be moving from our left to our right as we start the second half. Frank Brasini, a sophomore, will kick off for Wyoming area. 21-0 is the Berwick lead as the Bulldogs try to advance to the District 2 Quad A semifinals. Brasini's kick, this second half is underway. Comes up very, very short to the far side. Fielded by one of the upmen at the 35-yard line. The return to the 40 and out to the 44-yard line. So the kick comes up short, and Berwick will have good field position as Owen Shoemaker on the return for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, I was looking to see if it was Antonio Barada. He was the magnet for the ball in Williamsport. fielding 3 kickoffs, but this one going to the other side to Owen Shoemaker.
The Bulldogs out onto the field, 1st and 10 at their own 44-yard line. It looks like Sullivan Slabinski in there at the guard position for Monaco as the call goes to Evan Klinger. And Klinger straight ahead will get over the 45 out to about the 48-yard line. Well, Slabinski is a 6'1", 192-pound sophomore. As 4 yards on the carry by Evan Klinger, and 2nd down and 8 for Berwick at their own 48. Just underway in the 3rd quarter with the Bulldogs leading 21-0. Marshman under center gives the ball to Klinger. Evan Klinger breaks away from a tackle to the 45, to the 40, the 35, the 30, and goes out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Big run, Evan Klinger, who really looks terrific tonight.
Yes, he does. And Berwick still running up the middle despite the injury to Tom Monaco. Slavinsky doing a nice job at the left guard. Mike Zalutko, also a rather young lineman at the opposite side, creating the seams.
28 yards on the carry by Evan Klinger. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Wyoming area 24-yard line.
Give him 99 on the game.
Marshman back to throw, fires on the middle, has a man wide open for a touchdown. He is on target over the middle, and making the grab is Alex Parks, his first touchdown reception of his career.
And he looked good in the slot on the left side, running sort of a skinny post. Eased up to catch the ball, bobbled it maybe once, but yanked it on in, showing the good hands, wide open. Wonderful delivery by Marshman, and a great catch then by Parks to finish the play.
Well, that's all Berwick needs is another offensive weapon, and they've got one in Alex Parks tonight as Marshman will attempt the extra point. Snap placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field, 11:08 to go, 3rd quarter. Berwick 28, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Quality care for your dental health at Berwick Dental Arts, 105 West 9th Street in Berwick. State-of-the-art equipment comes together with a tradition of 45 years of personalized care. From the youngest to the oldest patient, let Berwick Dental Arts doctors and staff take care of every aspect of your dental needs. They'll process all types of insurances. Make your appointment today. Call Berwick Dental Arts friendly staff at 752-4542. Berwick Dental Arts, making smiles beautiful.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Berwick opens things up on their first possession of the second half. They take the opening kickoff, go 3 plays, 56 yards. 28-yard run by Evan Klinger. 24-yard touchdown pass from Jared Marshman to Alex Parks. 2nd touchdown pass of the night for Jared Marshman, 12th in the 5 games since his return. And now Ken Marshman, who's had a couple of touchbacks with the wind at his back, although looking at that flag right now, little or no wind at the moment, as his kick is a low line drive, will be picked up about the 6-yard line on the far side. Then they throw to the other side to Brian Williams, and Williams at the 15 to the 20, the 25, and ridden out of bounds, and then there'll be 15 yards tacked on as he's hit 3 yards as he's out of bounds. Bad play on the part of the Bulldogs, and a tricky play for Wyoming area to start.
Minichello was the man who fielded the ball, took it up to about the 15, and then turned and threw it across the field to where he found that other man who ran with it. Late hit will factor in here.
And Wyoming area will have good field position for their first possession of the second half. The return by Williams after the pass from Minichello, and then the 15-yard penalty against Berwick. So Wyoming area 1st and 10 at their own 48-yard line.
It's an overhand lateral. You can always go anything that's backwards or sideways in the course of football, even if it's overhand.
DeLuca takes the shotgun snap, fires a pass for a gain to the Berwick 48-yard line. Joey Lynn and Tegan Wilk are all over Darren Rodney, who made the catch for the Warriors.
They were there. It was tough coverage, but boy, Dom DeLuca still drilled it into the numbers and got his team 4 or 5 yards on the completion.
Second down and 5, Wyoming area at the Berwick 47.
They've been playing a lot of long distances and down and distance. They've hurt themselves with penalties and by being sacked. They'd like to keep this, with the normal progression.
And the snap, and it goes to Minicello out of the Wildcat, and Berwick will have none of it as he'll lose yardage back to the 47-yard line. Damon Beckhorn all over that play.
Yeah, he often creeps up to the line of scrimmage, and they give him a lot of liberty as to when he feels he can make a play to go at it. He was thinking it might be passed, he would have blitzed, he would have been free, but instead he was able to go on in and stop that running play.
Loss of 6 on the play. Third down and 11. Wyoming area at their own 47-yard line. So Minicello from the Wildcat loses yardage, and now under center is quarterback Dominic DeLuca. Backs in an open set behind him. Minicello comes in motion on the half moon. A toss sweep to him. Trying the right side. Has room to the Berwick 45 and gets the first down on the far side. He is so talented. They use him in so many different ways. As Minicello made that half-moon motion, took the pitch, swept the right side, and got the first down in Berwick territory.
He had really nice blocking. As he comes over, there's still 2 other running backs who lead the way on sort of a student body action to the right. And they're very good. They run it well with the quarterback. They run it well with the pitch to Minicello. It's blocked well, and he earns the yardage.
First and 10 at the Berwick 42. The give to Donovan O'Boyle. He gets inside the 40 to about the 39-yard line of the Bulldogs. Yeah, I think even though the score is 28-0, I think Wyoming area has to mix in some run. They were so one-dimensional in that first half. They seem to give up on the run very, very early.
I don't know if so much give up as down and distance forced them out of it, Jim. Either penalties or a sack or a loss of yardage on a play forced them into all throwing downs.
Second and 7 from the Berwick 39-yard line. The give is to Darren Rodney off the right side. Nice second effort by him as he gets to the 34-yard line. Good efforts by him. Ben Peck makes the stop for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Ben Peck had to turn around and follow the play. So it really was a nice run in there.
Third and 3 now for Wyoming area at the Berwick 34-yard line.
Nice little rhythm. They're in 4th down territory as well. So this is a situation where even on 3rd and short, you can go with the pass.
Minicello wide left, Williams wide right, backs in an open set. It's the quarterback who will keep it and get the first down. Dominic DeLuca off the left side, brought down by David Beckhorn, but not before he gets to the 31. Pickup of 3, and a Warrior first down.
He's a smart runner. He took it instead of a straight-ahead sneak. He was going to bend it off to the left on the short side. Man coming up hard, and Joey Lynn forced him to turn it north-south a good deal quicker, but he knew he was going to get the chains.
So Wyoming area trying to get on the board here with under 8 minutes to go in the third quarter, and Berwick leading 28-0. Warriors have a first down at the Bulldog 31. DeLuca out of the gun. Minicello comes in motion, takes the handoff, has some room, sweeps the left side to the 25 and out of bounds as he gets to about the 21-yard line.
He has deceptive speed. They already pushed the left side of the line forward as he comes on that sort of reverse or jet sweep action from the other side. So even as he's getting to the guard, he's starting to turn it upfield behind the guard and the tackle. And his speed just outrunning people to the sideline as he works his way upfield makes a nice gain.
11 yards on the carry. First and 10 at the Berwick 20-yard line. I formation. As Trattini comes from a running back position, takes the inside handoff, and Trattini is inside the 15, down about the 12-yard line.
Berwick had collisions but never wrapped to finish the tackle. A tricky play. Half-moon motion, he kind of froze there for a few fakes. And then he went north and south on a delay. Found a nice seam. Linebackers bumping him. He's sort of like a pinball in there, but no one wrapping.
7 yards in the carry. 2nd and 3. Wyoming area with a nice drive going. Starting at their own 48. It's now at the Berwick 13-yard line.
Second carry of the season for Trattini, Jim.
Joseph and Rodney are the backs in an open set. As DeLuca under center, Minichello goes in motion, takes the toss sweep, tries to get off the right side, and he's brought down.
Yeah.
What a terrific play by Ryan Lawbaugh back at the 15-yard line. The sophomore with a good open field tackle.
Damon Beckhorn's on that side and probably had contained, but Minichello showed that great speed. And all of a sudden, Lawbaugh, sensing, hey, this is not a pass, I'm going to come up hard, knocks it for a loss.
3rd down and 5 now for Wyoming area. As DeLuca, the sophomore quarterback, as he does on every play, goes to the sideline, gets the play. 4-down territory, I'm sure, trailing 28-0.
And with that in mind, you could run the ball here.
Minichello wide to the left. Man in motion. DeLuca rolls right, fires a pass, has a completion across the way for the 1st down and then some. Down around the 6-yard line.
Fullback Justin Joseph feigned blocking off the right side on the semi-roll and then swung on out into the flat. Real nice touch on the ball, hits him before the sideline, and he's a bull of a runner, so he will earn the chains.
9 yards on the reception to Joseph. 1st and goal, Wyoming area. Trying to get on the board for the first time in this game.
His second catch of the season, so all the weapons, all the unexpecteds are coming out in this drive.
1st and goal from the 6. Ambrosino, the tight end to the right side. Joseph to the left. As a pass is picked off at the 15 to the 20. Here's Tegan Wilk to the 30, the 35, the 40. Down the sideline, he's got blockers, and Tegan Wilk is going to go the distance for a Berwick touchdown.
They showed power eye to the right, which really indicates power run. But after a token fake, he wanted to fake it and then pop it to the tight end or something to the left. I'm not sure if he was hit, but it was a bad throw. It wobbled out just about 7 yards or so. And Tegan Wilk in that empty area where there's no receiver catches it. I forget the exact spot, in the goal or at the 1. We'll have to check and mark that. But then takes it all the way for the score as there's no one left to pursue him outside the quarterback.
We're going to call it 97 yards on the return by Tegan Wilk. He is the leading interceptor in the Wyoming Valley Conference. That is number 7 on the season. And now Ken Marshman will try to put this game into the mercy rule mode with 5:51 to go in the 3rd. Snap, placement, kick is up, and the kick is good. Time on the field. 5:51 remaining. Berwick 35, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Congratulations to the Berwick Bulldogs from Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. And listen to this. Murad is back at the Ford store. You've dealt with him in the past, and now he's back with great deals on the complete line of Ford cars and trucks, like the Focus, Edge, or Escape, to the Expedition. And don't forget the F-150 trucks at Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, West Front Street in Berwick. Go Bulldogs!
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Wyoming area had a nice drive going and had a 1st and goal at the Berwick 6-yard line, but Tegan Wilk with the interception and a 97-yard return. And now we're in the mercy rule mode with 5:51 to go in the 3rd quarter. And Berwick leading Wyoming area by a score of 35-0.
I just missed some part of that play. It looked like he went to throw and maybe tried to pull back, or maybe he was being hit, but I didn't see the pressure. But the call came out very awkwardly. Just kind of pushed itself forward, and Wilk opportunistic.
The kick comes up very, very high and short, and Rodney, an over-the-shoulder catch at the 20-yard line, and he's brought down to the 27-yard line.
Yes, he is, by the cliché host, Malik McMillan, probably the main tackler in that group. It almost looked like a short kick by design. I think you don't want to give Minicello any chance of the return. That's probably Wyoming area's best chance of a score. He's going to play on that left side where Ken Marshman puts the kick, and even if you get it 2 yards deep, he'd love to try to take it out.
And, you know, with a tough game coming up against North Pocono next week, this mercy rule is actually a big thing for Berwick. They'll probably go with the starters for maybe at the end of this quarter, have a chance to get people out of the game as DeLuca on a carry. The right side is hit and dropped. Ryan Lawball comes from his secondary. I tell you, the sophomores had a terrific season. Berwick goes with 5 defensive backs now, regardless of the type of offense they're facing. And that's really because of the talents of Ryan Lawball. They just need him on the field.
He's just very, very good. He covers well. He comes up well on the runs. Good heady defensive player. Has other skills, too. He's going to vie for quarterback. Saw him do some great long snapping. He was great in practice. Just struggled when he got into the game with it, but a guy willing to try to help the team, whatever it takes.
2nd and 13. DeLuca out of the gun, has the snap, rolls left, stops, plants the feet, steps up into it, fires long downfield to Minicello, just off his fingertips at the 40. Well, that's a great attempt. Probably should have been caught. Nice throw by Dominic DeLuca.
It was hard because there was a defender in front of him and came and sort of dropped on down, but a line drive sort of dropped him quickly. I think he had trouble locating the ball because the man in front of him he just couldn't see. Got the arms up kind of at the last minute to try to chest it. It would have been a very, very difficult catch, but boy, with his talents, he's the type of guy who can make that play.
3rd and 13, Wyoming area from their 25-yard line. Clock continues to run, even though that was an incompletion because we are in the mercy rule with Berwick leading 35-0. Slot to the right side, I formation. DeLuca toss sweep right side to Minicello. He throws it back to DeLuca. DeLuca looking downfield. Now he has to run with the football, and he will step out of bounds about the 25. Well, Wyoming area doesn't save any plays for the next game. They pull it all out, and it's fun to watch. That one didn't quite connect, but they gave it the try as the punt team comes on.
Debating how to score it.
It's a 2-yard game.
Lateral pass, and then a run by DeLuca because he can't get the second pass away. So he's at 4 yards on the game rushing.
And Evan Klinger and Tegan Wilk, who are 2 terrific punt returners, back anticipating the punt from DeLuca.
Anticipating like lions wanting red meat.
Kick is a low line drive, headed toward the sideline, taken on a high hop by Klinger, and skirts down that sideline and gets over midfield.
Oh, my. It bounced, and it bounced high, and you wonder, should I field it? Well, with Evan Klinger, he's going to get the hand when it's high. But there's a man coming on. He has to sidestep him. The sidestep looks like it's going to take him out of bounds. Somehow he doesn't go out of bounds, and like you said, skirts that sideline and gets about 12 yards on a return that most people wouldn't even field.
So Berwick will have it at the Wyoming area 47-yard line with 2:43 remaining. Again, the real negative for the Bulldogs in this 35-0 lead is the injury to Tom Monaco.
Sullivan Slabinski in there at left guard. Going to hold his own.
He saw a lot of action in the game earlier this season because of injuries.
The game I massacred his name, and I apologize for it. It was misspelled on my program and misspelled in a way that no matter how I said it, I was going to say it wrong.
Flag down the play. They count the players and wave it off. So
we've seen that before. A happy admission by Dave Brzezinski. Hey, guys, we screwed it. We're laughing about it. Sorry.
Just a math problem.
Yep.
They counted wrong from the 47-yard line. Marshman gives the ball to Shoemaker. He has room inside the 40, and Owen Shoemaker to the 35-yard line. Say, this 1-2 punch.
He's no break.
The 1-2 punch of Evan Klinger and Owen Shoemaker is just something to behold.
Yeah, you just get this guy who is so fresh and just wanting so much to get his carries that when you do give it to him, he could be like the best runner in the conference when he finally does get his touches. He runs with an intensity, an effort. There's a deceptive speed, great power. We saw balance where he actually caught himself on his hand on a run right before his touchdown. He has the package. He has the package. He's a great runner.
Now, I'm not sure what the situation is here. At first, I thought Shoemaker was hurt. Then I thought he just needed to tie his shoe.
And now Marshman's tying his shoe. Isn't that nice? You know, sometimes you don't have the good flexibility or you have tape on your hands, but Jared Marshman will help his teammate out. He tied his shoe for him, and we'll get things resumed now.
12-yard run for Owen Shoemaker. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Wyoming area 35-yard line.
Tie Shoemaker's shoe and stepped on Damon Peckhorn's ankle.
Eric Montez is the tight end to the right side. Marshman gives to Shoemaker off the left. He gets to the 30. He gets to about the 29-yard line.
Ran it like option, but it was a designated gift off the left side. No sense running the quarterback now with the game in the mercy rule mode, but you want to give Owen Shoemaker some better looks. Give him one where the defense is going to be a little indecisive. Is the play going inside or outside?
2nd and 5. Berwick from the Wyoming area 30. We're under a minute to go in the third quarter. Joey Lynn in as a blocking back to the right. Shoemaker, the call off the left. He's hit behind the line, breaks free, gets 2, maybe 3 on the play, and it's all him because Wyoming area was all over the play.
Maruck from linebacker blitzed and had him in the backfield, but he was able to step out of that and take it off the left. And there's a little bit of interference, and then Shoemaker with the effort pushes for more.
Got a yard, 3rd and 4 for Berwick. They're going to let this third quarter clock wind down. 3 in the books in this District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. Berwick 35, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
The compassionate funeral directors at the James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services provides individualized funeral services designed to meet the needs of your family. The staff of devoted professionals will assist you in making funeral service arrangements and guide you through this difficult time in your life. The James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services, Market Street, Berwick, wishing Bulldog players and families the best of luck during this season.
Berwick Bulldog football.
Right now in the third quarter, Southern Columbia leads North Penn Mansfield 49-20. Danville leads Mifflinburg 41-14, and Bluesburg now leads Northwest 7-3 in the fourth. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
We start the fourth quarter play from Crispin Field in Berwick. Bulldogs in control, leading Wyoming area 35-0. This District 2 Quad A quarterfinal. Last we heard, North Pocono way ahead of Pittston area, 35-7. So we're looking at a semifinal game next Friday here between the two teams that met in the District 2 final a year ago. Berwick, 3rd down at the Wyoming area 29. Bulldogs move from our right to our left. They give us to Owen Shoemaker. He has the first down and then some as he gets to the 20-yard line.
Boy, powerful run. Berwick just exploded off the ball into their blocks. Owen Shoemaker explodes with the ball behind him. The interior linemen have about 5-6 yards for him before he bends it off to the left. Actually ran into Chase Struthers, who might have had even more yardage. Beautiful run.
8 yards in the carry by Shoemaker. 1st and 10, Berwick at the Wyoming area 21-yard line.
One negative of the game, Jim, was the injury to Tom Monaco. He is out here in civvies now in a red sweatshirt on crutches, putting no weight on that ankle that was injured.
Marshman out of the gun. Gives to Shoemaker. Shoemaker inside the 20. Shoemaker inside the 15. Shoemaker down the 11-yard line.
He's fun to watch. He's fun to watch. The linemen are helping him out. They're giving him that first good push. And then he looks for the seam, and then he'll carry linebackers and collide with safeties. He's a tough runner.
Well, Berwick's question coming in as far as the running game goes was who is going to replace Lenny Wida. Well, the fact is two people are going to replace Lenny Wida, who was the workhorse a year ago. And Berwick getting a lot of mileage out of both Evan Klinger and Owen Shoemaker, as it's now 2nd and 1, Berwick at the Wyoming area 12-yard line. Marshman has the snap, gives it to Shoemaker off the left, looking for room, battles ahead, gets down about the 7-yard line.
He had a gaping hole to the inside, and I'm not sure if he saw it. The play went from behind the right guard, crossing over the center to the left. And had he spotted the inside read a little bit quicker, he might have taken that in. But it probably just delays the inevitable with his power running.
So Berwick with a first down and goal at the Wyoming area 7-yard line. 9:49 remaining in this quarterfinal. Justin Robbins, the wide receiver to the left, but it's going to be a heavy dose of Owen Shoemaker off the left, inside the 5, down to about the 2-yard line.
Running hard, and the blockers are giving him some nice seams to run. Wyoming area has to be fatiguing. They keep taking on hit after hit after hit.
As this game goes on in the fourth quarter with it out of reach for Wyoming area, we'll give you the information we'll be able to put together on North Pocono High School, team that beat Berwick in the district final a year ago, and the team that'll be here at Crispin Field for a semifinal game next Friday night. From the 2, Shoemaker the call off the left side, lowers the shoulder, gets in for the touchdown, but there's a flag on the play.
They didn't signal it either. He seemed to be in the pylon. But something's not going to allow this. Came out where it bounced out wide. He had to take on the corner and the safety out there. I thought he worked his way into the end zone. But a flag will take away the touchdown.
And again,
won't be too upset about
a game in which Berwick has committed a lot of penalties, but they've been so superior in other respects that it hasn't hurt them. It's now a 2nd and goal back at the 13 following the penalty. Clock running with 8:45 remaining. And the Bulldogs leading this one by a score of 35-0.
They've been going with a very vanilla offense on this drive, basically handed to Owen Shoemaker. He's been running primarily off the left side.
Let's see if they allow Marshman to go to the air here. He fakes to Shoemaker. He keeps the football, and he's tripped up right at the line of scrimmage, the 13-yard line. So it's 3rd down and goal.
Cameron Carr, the defensive end, seeing that. Marshman just doesn't look to have the speed on the outside play, Jim. It's the 2nd time you've tried it to the left after the fake, and it just doesn't look to be quick enough to be an effective play.
With all due respect, I don't know that he had the speed a year ago.
That's true, too.
3rd down and goal. As the give is to Shoemaker up the middle, and Owen Shoemaker gets to the 10. Here's another flag down the play.
Umpire throwing it. Throwing it to his right. Left guard or left tackle probably, and some kind of a grab on the inside.
And looks like a face mask is the original call.
Berwick showing that, yep.
So the mark off.
You know, Jim, the only way to stop this clock is kind of with penalties, isn't it?
They're doing a good job of it. The ball down to the 6-yard line where it is 3rd down and goal.
In a game I think where both teams would like to see that clock trickle on down. It's a tough end of a season for a very proud Wyoming area program. You know, Berwick's basically playing a vanilla offense to not embarrass a proud program.
3rd and goal from the 6. Marshman under center. Shoemaker the lone running back. Owen Shoemaker the call. off the left side. Shoemaker reaches for the end zone and gets there for a touchdown. Owen Shoemaker from 6 yards out.
He's approaching a 100-yard game. I am with 89 yards on the evening. Nice strong run. Got a little bit of obstruction off the left side. Tried to hit it over left guard, but then kept veering to his left toward the sideline. And eventually the collision and reaching the ball across at the end. And I think Owen Shoemaker might be hurt. He's down there in the end zone. Thing that you didn't want to have happen with this clock trickling down.
7:15 remaining in the game. They tend to, Owen Shoemaker will tell you a little bit about this North Pocono team that'll be in here next week. It's the team that beat the Bulldogs last year in that district final. They have a third-year starter at quarterback in Donnie Blaine, who has some decent numbers on the season. 1,246 yards, 10 touchdowns. They have a running back in J.C. Goggin. Coming into tonight's game against Pittston, he had 896 yards and 13 touchdowns. They throw to 3 different receivers. Goggin out of the backfield, Dale Moore and Daniel Walsh, all in double figures. Defensive leaders are a 3-year starter at linebacker and Brett Butler. It's a solid team that will come in with a 7-4 record. They've lost to some very good teams. As Shoemaker walks to the sideline, and Ken Marshman boots the extra point. Timeout on the field. 7:14 remaining. Berwick 42, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
If you're planning a job or project that requires excavation, you need the experts at MDL Snow and Land Inc. MDL Snow and Land does driveways, basements, septic systems, town hookups, and more. They will also haul sand, stone, crushed brick, and more in a variety of load sizes. And with winter just around the corner, MDL Snow and Land Inc. provides prompt and efficient commercial snow removal from your business. For your next excavating, hauling, or commercial snow removal job, call the experts at MDL Snow and Land. 336-0289.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Jim Doyle and Andy Lickney from Crispin Field in Berwick. 7:15 remaining in the game. It's been all Berwick tonight. They lead Wyoming area by a score of 42-0.
Owen Shoemaker was hurt on the touchdown, Jim. It looked to be mostly a cramp. As they were sitting him up, he was pulling his toe back on the leg that was bothering him. He got up and limped off under his own power, so it doesn't seem like anything that would prevent him from getting his work in next week and being part of the game.
Yeah, it appears the only question mark will be Tom Monaco. Again, we don't know the extent of that injury. Can't tell you he's on crutches in civvies in the second half. The kick by Marshman to the far side is fielded at the 15-yard line. The return to the 20, the 25, the 30, the 35, the 40, over midfield, and the return to the 42-yard line.
Yeah, that was O'Boyle, Donovan O'Boyle. He's been waiting to get his hands and make a play throughout this game. Hasn't had any success offensively from running back. And Berwick hasn't given him much of an opportunity on kick returns. This time he does get an excellent kick return.
To the Berwick 45-yard line is where Wyoming area will put the ball in play, 1st and 10, and they'll be going against a whole new defensive unit for the Bulldogs. And Wyoming area will get subs in there as well. The handoff straight ahead to number 5, Zakwe Williamson, who's returned a couple of kicks in this game. He gets a couple of yards. Jacob Williams, a freshman at 5'8", 150 pounds, is the quarterback now for Wyoming area. As Williamson gained 6 yards to the 39, 2nd down and 4. I formation behind the young quarterback, Williamson. Straight ahead to the fullback, and he is gang tackled.
Justin Joseph, we've seen a lot of him, but not from the fullback and not running with the football. Dives up the middle.
Blaine Cleaver in on the stop for the Bulldogs. 9th grader who saw some action in prime time last week against Williamsport. Third down and about 3 for Wyoming area. They have it at the Berwick 37-yard line.
Blaine Cleaver gets his nose in there. He likes the contact.
High formation. Call goes to Williamson off the left. He will not get the first down. He's brought down the 36-yard line.
Lineman got in there, and then Austin DeWalt finished him and prevented him from getting to the chains.
Like the 36-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for this 4th down and 1 for Wyoming area. Williamson, the tailback in the eye. Call goes to fullback off the left side. He has the first down to the 28-yard line. That's Blaze Campy, a 5'8", 170-pound senior. Picked up of 8 yards and a first down.
A quick hitter off the left side, able to split the defense and make things happen. Berwick would like to keep this shutout, but they're not going to substitute for this young defense. Guys have to get up and stop them on their own.
Yeah, plus Wyoming areas subs in as well.
Yeah.
So, quarterback from the gun is hit from behind, gets the pass away, but it's dropped. Eric Ambrosino, the tight end, couldn't hang on. And it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 28.
Antonio Barata snuck up from corner the way we often see
Damon
Beckhorn do. Came with that blitz, put the shot on, so he's not just a kick returner, Jim. Tough cornerback, coming hard on the blitz.
Jake Williams, the quarterback, went to the sideline, got the play. Has the I formation behind him from the Berwick 28-yard line. Toss sweep left side to Williamson, and he gets down inside the 25 to about the 23-yard line. Picked up about 5 on the play.
Shows nice running talent. Some good natural moves on the sweep. Has the vision to break it back against the green once he's maximized as much as he can, heading toward the sideline.
3rd down call coming. Clock running. 3:25 to go. The final arithmetic, the only thing in doubt here is Berwick with the big lead, heading to the district semifinals. Can't be the fullback. Back to throw. Williamson. Berwick in pursuit. He's going to keep the football, and he'll be brought down right at the line of scrimmage.
Blaine Cleaver, reading from the linebacker position, playing his zone. Sees the quarterback come up. He comes up to meet him. Makes a nice play on a good read.
I have a feeling we're going to see a lot from Blaine Cleaver.
Yes.
Next season and beyond.
Yes, we are.
Clock running. 2:47 to go. Here's a 4th down and 5 for Wyoming area, just short of the Berwick 23-yard line. And the Warriors trying to avert the shutout. They've been shut out only once this season. That was on week 5 by Scranton Prep. Williamson under center. Toss sweep to Williamson. He's going to throw it back to the quarterback who has the catch, but Berwick's all over the play at the 26-yard line. So even with the subs in, Wyoming area goes to the back of the playbook. Doesn't work, though, as the Bulldogs come up with the stop, and they'll take over the football and then try to run out this last 2:15.
Antonio Barata saw it, and the pass after the flip went very high, almost like fielding a punt for young quarterback Jacob Williams, waiting for that ball to come down, and Barata right on top of him. Wyoming area is going to take a timeout, get their unit straight.
We'll take one as well. 2:15 to go, 42-0 Berwick. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Home away from home boarding kennels in Berwick is a dream getaway for your dog when you are away. Home away from home boarding kennels offers on-site grooming, 19 air-conditioned kennels, and a fenced-in area for your dog to play. At home away from home boarding kennels, there are no restrictions on size or weight of your dog. The only thing they ask is that all dogs have proof of updated vaccines, including kennel cough. Call 570-759-8181 to schedule your dog's dream vacation today. Home away from home boarding kennels is a proud supporter of the Berwick Bulldogs.
When the music stops, that's football.
This is Berwick football coach Frank Sheptalk. You're listening to Bulldogs football on Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
2:15 remaining in the football game following the Wyoming area timeout. Berwick with the ball at their own 25-yard line. Ninth grader Blaine Cleaver is the quarterback. Gives to Alejandro Lopez off the right side. He has good running room out to the 40-yard line as Cleaver, the ninth grader, hands off to the 10th grader, Alejandro Lopez, the 5'8", 178-pounder, picks up the first down to the 39, 14 yards on that carry.
Real nice sweeping action, simple pitch. Berwick had some blockers to create some obstruction out there, and Lopez used them, showed vision. Extended the play nicely.
1st and 10. Slot to the left side. Cleaver gives to Lopez again off the left side. He has more running room to midfield to the Wyoming area 49-yard line to pick up 12 on that carry with 1:20 remaining in the game.
Wyoming area got penetration over the guard. Play almost came to a stop at the point of the exchange. But Lopez was able to get the ball, bounce around that as a lineman jumped on top of the penetration. Able to make a very nice run.
Berwick at the Wyoming area 49-yard line. Cleaver looks to the sideline. They'll use some clock here. The call goes to Lopez. Flag down the play. Boy, if ever there is a time for officials' indifference, it's with 44 seconds to go in a 42-0 game. If it's not a play where someone's endangering someone else, I say take that flag and put it somewhere. But
well, it is a 10-yard penalty, so
back to the 41-yard line.
Clock has resumed running despite the penalty, so Berwick probably with their last play.
Let's look at a blind eye now, boys.
Had one to end the half. Teams ignored it.
So Cleaver under center will take a knee. And that will do it. Clock will wind down, and Berwick advances to the semifinals. The final score here, Berwick 42, Wyoming area nothing. Stay with us. We'll run down the scoring in case you were just joining us. Go over the stats with Andy Lickney and Ben Willis. Bring us updated on the playoff football scoreboard. Final here, Berwick 42, Wyoming area nothing. You're listening to Bulldogs football and Classic Rock 103.5.
Yannick Real Estate is your full-service real estate agency. Buying, selling, residential, commercial, multifamily, land, and rental management. Call Yannick Real Estate. Owner Mike Yannick, a veteran himself, served his country and has been serving this area for decades. Mike and his staff will guide you through the real estate process. Veterans, be sure to check the VA loan options. Yannick Real Estate, your full-service real estate agency. 1232 West Front Street in Berwick. Call 759-3300.
Choose with confidence. The Medicine Shop.
At the Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located at the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, caring goes beyond the prescriptions. Discover the one-on-one customer service and dedication that makes caring part of the culture at the Medicine Shop in Berwick. Stock up on everything you need to keep you and your family healthy all year long. The Medicine Shop Pharmacy, located on the corner of 9th and Pine Streets in Berwick, where caring goes beyond the prescriptions.
The Classic Rock Channel. 103.5.
When you need the services of a professional law firm, you need the law offices of Lutz & Petty at 916 West Front Street in Berwick. Lutz & Petty is your hometown choice for elder law and asset protection, criminal law, estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. The full-service legal team of Lutz & Petty takes this opportunity to wish the Berwick Bulldogs a successful and injury-free season. Call them at 570-218-4888. The law offices of Lutz & Petty, protecting you. Go Dogs!
Berwick Bulldog football.
Taking a look at the high school football scoreboard this evening. Finals in the District 4 AA quarterfinals. Southern Columbia over North Penn Mansfield 63-26. Central Columbia over Towanda tonight 20-6. Mount Carmel over South Williamsport 28-14. And in the fourth, Lyon Mountain leads Wellsboro 14-13. In District 4 Class AAA semifinals, fourth quarter scores: Danville leads Mifflinburg 48-21, Loyalsock leads Lewisburg 35-24. In other District 2 Quad A quarterfinals tonight in the fourth quarter, North Pocono leads Pittston 41-7, and finals: Valley View over Crestwood 51-0, and Kaufman over Dallas 28-0. Right now in the fourth quarter in the Eastern Conference AA Championship game, Northwest leads Bloomsburg 10-7. The District 4 Class Quad A semifinals, finals: Shikellamy over Athens 41-7. Fourth quarter, Selinsgrove leads Jersey Shore 14-7, and in the District's 2-4-6A semifinals, in the third quarter, Scranton was trailing Delaware Valley, tied at Delaware Valley at 28. I'm Ben Willis for Classic Rock 103.5.
Berwick, Bloomsburg, and Greater Hazelton 103.5.
Down below us to our right, Bulldogs of Berwick gathered around head coach Frank Sheptock, celebrating a 42-0 win over Wyoming area that vaults the Bulldogs into the Quad A District 2 semifinals. Bulldogs scored first in this one with 2:49 remaining in the opening quarter. A three-play, 51-yard drive capped on a 26-yard run by Damon Beckhorn, who was lined up on a wing to the right, took the inside handoff, and broke several tackles along the way. There was also a 16-yard rocket screen to Tegan Wilk on that short drive. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 7-0 Berwick after one. Bulldogs added to that lead early in the second, 10:55 remaining. Owen Shoemaker, a 2-yard run, capping a 6-play, 35-yard drive. 7th rushing touchdown of the season for Shoemaker. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 14-0 was the Berwick lead. Bulldogs added to that lead with 27.6 seconds to go in the half, when Jared Marshman threw a 7-yard touchdown pass to Joe Norris, capping a 6-play, 45-yard drive. There was also a 28-yard run by Evan Klinger along the way. Ken Marshman with the extra point, 21-0 Berwick. The ensuing kickoff, though, was returned by Mark Anthony Minichello, 73 yards to the Berwick 17-yard line. Eventually, Wyoming area had 3rd and 1 at the 9 with 4.5 seconds to play. But the pass by Dominic DeLuca was picked off by Berwick linebacker Joey Lynn to stop the threat and send the Bulldogs in at the break with that 21-0 advantage. They put this one away early in the third quarter as they took the second half kickoff and went 3 plays, 56 yards. There was a 28-yard run by Evan Klinger, and the touchdown coming on a 24-yard touchdown pass from Jared Marshman. And Ken Marshman kicked the extra point, and Berwick led by a score of 28-0. And then Wyoming area put together a good drive and had a 1st and goal at the Berwick 6-yard line when a pass by Dominic DeLuca went right into the hands of Tegan Wilk, who raced 97 yards for a Berwick touchdown. Marshman with the extra point. That was with 5:51 to go in the third. Gave Berwick a 35-0 lead and put it into the mercy rule mode. By the way, getting back to that touchdown pass by Jared Marshman with 11:08 to go in the half, that was the first touchdown reception of the season and in the career of Alex Parks, who saw a lot of action at the wide receiver position in this game. So 35-0 Berwick after 3. Bulldogs kept their starters in for one more score in the fourth. That was from Owen Shoemaker, a 6-yard carry, capping an 8-play, 47-yard drive with 7:15 to go. Marshman with the extra point. That was it for the scoring. The final, Berwick 42, Wyoming area nothing. Stats in tonight's game, Andy Lickney.
I have Berwick with 358 yards in total offense. Wyoming area held to 116. Wyoming area's split was 59 yards on the ground and 57 yards in the air. Berwick's played some rather dominating defense. Number 1 in the conference, holding teams rushing to under 84 yards. Here they held this team to 59. In passing, they've played strong, holding teams under 98. Here they held this team to 57. First in the conference with allowing just 182 yards. They hold this team here in playoffs to 116. So Berwick did a real nice job in shutting down Wyoming area in this game. Really shut down the running game. Most of the 59 yards are coming from fourth quarter runners, with the mercy rule on. starting running back Dominic O'Boyle, 3 carries for 4 yards. The other running back, Darren Rodney, 2 carries for 10. Then it goes down to the quarterbacks and the backups. So add in Mark Anthony Minicello. He is a stud. Showed some great return stuff. Showed some good speed on jet sweeps. He had 4 carries for 22 yards to lead his team in rushing. Then it goes to Justin Joseph with 2 yards on a carry. Blaise Chiampi, 1 carry for 8 yards. Zaquay Williamson, 3 carries for 13. Backup quarterback Jacob Williams had a 1-yard pop. The team lost 3 yards on a bad fumble on a pitch on an option. And then Dom DeLuca finishes 14 carries for -4. I had Berwick with 3 first-half sacks on him as they really did pressure. In all, 31 rushes, just 59 yards. Passing, not much better. 6 completes and 16 attempts. 2 interceptions, 57 yards. 1 interception actually goes for a touchdown. On the receiving end of the 57 yards in the air, Minicello has none. He's not able to get a pass from his quarterback as Berwick blankets him. Brian Williams has a catch for 9 yards. Robert Trattini looked strong, 2 catches, 34 yards for him. Darren Rodney out of the backfield, a catch for 4 yards. Justin Joseph did a real nice job down near the end zone, but Berwick kept him out, a 9-yard little flood pass in there. And Jacob Williams, the quarterback, pitched and had it thrown his way and caught it for just 1 yard. 57 in the air, 59 on the ground for Wyoming area. Berwick holds this team to just 116 yards. Berwick offensively on the ground, 272 yards. In the air, 86 yards, a total of 358. Jared Marshman deserved better numbers, a number of drops, and actually the interception that was thrown is the blame of his receiver, who should have caught it for a gain instead of letting it go through his hands. But in all, he's 8 of 14 with that interception for 86 yards. Damon Beckhorn had 2 catches, but -1 yard net. He had a -5-yarder, caught well in the backfield, and then a 4-yard gain. Tegan Wilk caught a 16-yarder. Alex Parks, as you highlighted, Jim, 2 catches for 34 yards, including the 24-yard touchdown. Joe Norris had a touchdown catch of 7 yards, also a 5-yarder, so 2 for 12 for him. Evan Klinger took one on a scramble by the quarterback and went 25 yards and gained the chains. 86 in the air on 8 completed passes. In the running game, check the newspapers for their accuracy. As I have it, I have Evan Klinger 1 yard short of 100, so I hope they add him a little bit differently. I have Evan Klinger with 9 carries for 99 yards. And I have Owen Shoemaker with 12 carries for 89, but hard to do while I'm broadcasting. Check the officials. Maybe they pop it up over that century mark. Damon Beckhorn, 2 runs for 29 yards, including a beautiful 26-yard touchdown run. Tegan Wilk had a 5-yard carry. Alejandro Lopez, 2 carries for 25 yards, and then down to the quarterback, Jared Marshman. Number of runs by design, some very effective up the middle, a couple of scrambles, sacked just once. I have him with 8 carries for 25 yards on the night. Add up all the rushers, especially the big ones in Klinger and Shoemaker. 34 rushes for 272 yards. Add in the 86 yards in the passing game. Berwick has a wonderful game with 358 yards. Berwick into a rhythm, Jim. Still a few too many penalties. Would like to have seen them go without the injuries in the course of this game. We'll check on Tom Monaco as the week goes on and get ready for North Pocono.
But considering the first meeting between those 2 teams, Berwick and Wyoming area, and that game that Berwick was fortunate to win, a turnaround and a dominating performance for the Bulldogs tonight, the season ends for the Warriors of Wyoming area. They have a 4-7 record. For Berwick, they will take a 9-2 record into their game against North Pocono here next Friday night. Again, that's the rematch of last year's district final, won by North Pocono 21-6. Bulldogs will try to reverse that in the game here at Crispin Field next Friday. A Final again from here tonight. Berwick 42, Wyoming area nothing. For Andy Lickney and our producer Raven Klein, this is Jim Doyle reminding you heard it live on Classic Rock 103.5.
You've been listening to Berwick Bulldogs Football Playoffs on Classic Rock 103.5. Brought to you by First Columbia Bank and Trust, with you every step of the way. Hogs Hollow Saloon, Route 93 in Berwick. See you after the game. Berwick Dental Arts, quality care for your dental health. Delos Bakery, Freese Avenue in Berwick. The Medicine Shop, East 9th Street in Berwick. Neighbor Fence Company, residential and commercial fencing. Home Away from Home Boarding Kennels, a dream getaway for your dog. Harry's Sporting Goods, hashtag you need new sneaks. Red's Roofing, the roofing ninjas of Berwick for all your home improvements. Metrocast Cablevision, cutting-edge entertainment for the whole family to enjoy. First Keystone Community Bank, yesterday's traditions, tomorrow's vision. The Mayo Funeral Home of Berwick and Shikshini. The law offices of Lutz and Petty, protecting you. Welsh's Towing and Repair, towing, recovery, and lockout services. Riverview Block Inc. of Berwick. Yannick Real Estate, commercial and residential. Ken Pollock Ford Lincoln, Northeast PA's #1 dealership. Safe Light Auto Glass, Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace. Berlin's Greenhouses in Berwick, open by appointment for Christmas gift certificates, wreaths, and grave blankets. MDL Snow and Land, expert excavating, hauling, and commercial snow removal. The James L. Hinckley Jr. Funeral Home and Cremation Services in Berwick, professional service, professional guidance. Bodner Sales and Service in Berwick, your Konica Minolta copy machine dealer since 1967. KFAB Inc., Vine Street, Berwick, now hiring for full-time welders, machinists, general maintenance, and laser operators. And by Fenstermacher Construction, LLC, new home construction, roofing, siding, kitchen and bath remodeling, additions, and garages. Now, let's get back to the music on Classic Rock 103.5.